I'm not sure I would ever really tell somebody that isn't playing the game anymore that they should come back.
Yeah, I played one salary cap game, which I won by 30, so that guy sucks.
The better team used to be more accessible without spending money, but rather by grinding.
I grinded out for Rudy Gobert, right? He got absolutely bitched by Wemby yesterday.
They're spending money, and then they're spending enough money to get KD, Jokic, Kareem.
I felt like it was going to be a vibe like years past where we could engage with the community.
Here we go. So we are back after over a year of the Ourteam podcast. You never thought it would return, neither did I, to be honest, but we're all back. And we're back because everyone's just playing the game again. That's the reason we're back. We all stopped last year, but we're all back on it. So we're going to run for 6 weeks and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So who am I joined by? I am joined by Matt Mojo. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Glad to be back. Good to see everybody, man. Listen, it's been over a year. It feels like 10 years though. It feels like a long time since I've seen y'all fellas, you know what I'm saying? So I'm ready to get it in, man. I'm ready to get it in like Flynn. So let's go. Let's go. Here we go, man.
Here we go. Did I say here we go? I'm
no,
assuming
I don't know.
I feel like I would just instinctively hit my catchphrase at 41 years old. Cool. Jacob, how we doing?
Not bad, man. Chilling. In case you guys are new to the show, I've always had the best intros. They've never been awkward. They've never been off the wall or weird or anything like that. So nothing's changed today. Been chilling. Happy to be back.
I love how I said I wasn't going to mention your awkward intros and you did it anyway.
I feel like it's just part of the game now. It's part of the Ourteam lore.
Yeah. Back by mediocre demand. CheapLudez, how you doing?
I'm good, man. People can probably stop asking where I am now. That'd be great.
Yeah, we've got proof of life.
Yeah, dude, I'm alive. Okay. Look, I can't say what I'm up to due to monetization issues, but I'm chilling.
Yeah, not sus at all. Right. I'm going to go to the guest next, which is JC2K. For your first time on the Ourteam podcast. How you doing?
Going on, man. This is my second time, yeah. So, happy to be here. Looking forward to being the first guest back, I guess. Kind of an honor. So this is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to being a part of this one and then watching the next 5 episodes. So
yeah, we only got a year to cover, so it should be pretty straightforward,
Should be quick and easy, I would think.
And don't worry, he is here, back by the most popular demand. We got Killer Josh. Looks a bit different. That's a hell of a time to mute.
Look, Josh is busy right now, probably suffering through the Knicks playoff series. I don't think he's going to recover in time for next week's episode.
I didn't even realize I was muted.
I missed
Josh. That's a Josh thing.
Yeah, you are.
As I was saying, I'm just here to fill in for Josh while he's packing his bags for Cancun.
Do you want to explain what's behind you?
Oh yeah. If I'm a fill in for Josh, I gotta do it right. So there's a picture back there that I drew this morning, like 10 minutes before we started, that says Josh's hole, and in parentheses it says pause.
I actually miss Josh. I never thought this would happen.
I really am curious to see if his hole in his wall got bigger over the last year, though.
Yeah, it's possible. He's been
what he does for work. He should have fixed it, but I know he didn't.
Yeah, literal carpenter, by the way. Just saying. GamingDad, welcome, man. Check out GamingDad's podcast. I didn't give him permission to do that, but he's done it anyway. So he's returning the favor now. Get a cease and desist at the end of this. Yeah, great podcast. Triple threat with him and Josh and Ant, right?
Yeah, Ant Live and ISO.
Oh, ISO's like full time now?
Yeah, full time now, yeah.
Nice. All links to everyone be in the description. Please go follow them on everything, YouTube, socials, etc. And like and subscribe this channel and this video. Right, cool. So it's been a year. It has been a year. I'll let you guys know where I'm at. So I literally took over a year off the game. Did not even load up my team since about March last year. For me, I basically saw that people I get on within the community had started playing the game again around April. Decided to take a look at it, and to be honest, have mostly enjoyed it. It's definitely got me back on the game. Feel like I've got a pretty good understanding of it now. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through some tweets. So check my Twitter or my X, whatever you want to call it. Before each podcast, I'll put up a post saying give us subject. And the subjects are pretty good. And actually Hazy Plays, who's like a Ourteam OG, gave us a really good question to kind of kick things off. And, I'd love to hear all of your answers. Question is, what keeps you coming back to Myteam? And why should other people who stopped playing a few editions ago come back? Jacob?
Yeah, so it's kind of a tricky one because I was in a similar-ish boat to you, Jazz, where I stopped playing, I think, around like March of last year as well. I completely uninstalled the game and did not turn the game back on, mostly just due to like the special inserts, gamble-only cards. Like that was just a bridge too far for me. But realistically, when I saw the auction house was back this year, I'm like, all right, I'll give it a fair chance. And since then, I've definitely not played the game anywhere close to the amount I did throughout, say, 2K20, 21, 22. But just kind of going back to it, here and there, sometimes I hit level 40, sometimes I don't. Like just kind of playing things at my own pace, not really creating any content based around it. And it's just kind of a comfort game for me, right? And as long as my team is still my team at its core, where there's a functioning auction house, there's new content coming out on Tuesdays and Fridays, I'm not going to say that that's all I need to be happy and content with the game, but that's all I really need to be at least halfway, my toes touched in the water, engaged with it, where when I do have some free time, I might turn it on and play a few games, a showdown or whatever it might be. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I've played Myteam since the inception of the game mode, and it's kind of my comfort game in a way. So, yeah, I mean, as long as there's an auction house and whatnot, like I'll probably always kind of be having a team, not exactly playing anywhere close to the way I used to. Obviously, life has progressed in many ways that doesn't even make that a possibility anymore for myself. But yeah, it's just kind of my comfort game, really. So I don't know if I would recommend other people to play right now. That's kind of something I'm pondering. But
interesting.
Yeah.
So you're playing it, but you wouldn't necessarily recommend someone else to play it?
It depends. I feel like it's been really up or down with a lot of these events. Like a couple of these events have been good, and I'm like, ooh, maybe they're onto something. And then I see a couple things, and I'm like, man, like they're even worse than they used to be. So
Yeah.
I really don't know. It depends on what month you ask me, and I feel like there's been pretty high highs with this season or this year, 2K25, and pretty low lows. I feel like it's been kind of a high variance with like points of the year as far as the game's actually worth playing or not.
I agree. Mojo, what's your thoughts? Did you actually dip or no?
Oh, I was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left for a while for various reasons, even outside of 2K. The reason why I stepped back into 2K was I saw all the tweets, and I saw the fanfare going on in the event, the All-Star event back in, was it season 5, if I'm not mistaken. And let me tell you something. It looked like a game that you wanted to be engaged in, and looked like a game that you wanted to have fun in. And quite frankly, me being on the outside looking in, I was playing Madden at the time, and enjoying Madden, enjoying the gameplay, enjoying everything about it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them, by the way, for giving me a Michael Vick jersey, signed rookie jersey. So I love you, EA, for that. But anyway.
Oh, that's sick.
I'm sorry, I got to flex.
God,
gotta flex, man. No, thank you for real, EA Sports. But anyways, I felt like it was going to be a vibe like years past, where we could engage with the community, we can engage with friends, we can engage, and just ball out. And on top of that, make good MT. The event was an MT maker, and that really was the sole reason. Because I mean, let's face it, I wasn't gonna go in there and try not to spend anything. That changed later on, but I went in there and literally no money spent in grinding out the events and made free MT. And that right there, on top of me just playing the game that I love, the game that we love, which is basketball, was just a vibe. I'll say this, I don't think that these events, since they've caught on, 2K kind of caught on, these events have been that good. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's cool to have events, but it's not content, in my opinion. It's really not. It's coming down to the G word, which is GREED. It's greed, and quite frankly, again, that's what it is, and it's just a shame. They nerf the MT system, where the badge method where you can make MT. They nerfed that. They killed that when they saw that we were having fun. Oh no, you can't have fun, Mojo. You can't have fun. 2K community, no, you can't have fun. So yeah, the roundup. Now, would I recommend anybody playing this game? I mean, if you love the game of basketball, absolutely. But the game in itself, like as a whole, it's not fun. It really isn't. What makes us fun is we or the 2K community, we make it fun. But would I advise anybody to come back and play this game? Absolutely freaking not.
Yeah, you kind of laid down a marker for everything we're going to talk about today, which is amazing. But yeah, we're going to get into all that stuff on a deep dive. Events, for sure. The community, definitely. We need to talk about because it's a bit shit. Other than that, there's a lot of things to talk about. But yeah, events is a big one. Okay, cool. Who should we go to next? JC?
I am right there with Matt in that I'm not sure I would ever really tell somebody that isn't playing the game anymore that they should come back and get back invested in it. If you individually have been thinking about doing that and you want to do so on a more limited basis than maybe you used to, that is something I could maybe get behind. And I think there is a certain amount of enjoyment for all of us, honestly, and probably most of y'all watching this that have always just enjoyed the card collecting modes of these games. I mean, that might be the thing people enjoy more than Play Now Online or whatever these other game franchise modes, stuff like that. For a lot of us who play this game and watch, that's what we enjoy is these card collecting modes. So if you want to play it in a limited basis, go for it. There is enjoyment to be had, but I think coming back and being a Myteam player, like the way people maybe used to play the game in 2K 20, 21, 22, 19, all these older, better 2Ks, I can't recommend that. And I certainly can't recommend coming back into this game if you're one of those people who doesn't want to play the game if you don't have the best team, because the amount of money that this game costs people these days is just absurd. I have a hard time understanding it.
We're definitely going to talk about that today. The money people spend on this game is absurd. I can't I just from this weekend, I was just left stunned, stunned
pretty wild
with what I saw. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, fair. Ludes, are you back? So you're back playing Breakout?
Yeah, I am. Honestly, what happened was, I hated last year's game so much, so much. I just despised it.
Same.
And then due to work, I just didn't have time to do content anyway. And then I realized if I'm not doing content, then opening packs is pointless because that's just going to drain your bank account. And I can use that money for cooler stuff like buying 90s cigarette merch and things of that nature, of which I have way too much at the current moment.
And
you can't see it
behind you.
That was $3 at a thrift store, and it's from, I think, Thailand or something. I don't know. Flex.
Imagine if you'd opened packs and you couldn't have bought that.
That's what I'm saying. So you can't see it in the living room right now, but you should see the wall. I have a giant 90s camel clock. I'm wearing a camel t-shirt with Joe Camel, who is the sickest, by the way.
Camel the cigarette?
Yeah. It's got Joe
They were
Camel.
my cigarettes back in the day.
Same. Turkish Royals all day. Yeah, dude, it's got Joe Camel on the back with his absolute boys just chilling, shooting pool and stuff. Anyways, I have way too much stuff back there, but that's all money I would have used on packs. Realistically before. And if you're just not making any money back, there's just no point in opening packs. And the other reason is, in addition to work, which I'm just way too busy being the head of sales, flex.
Flexing off today, geez.
Yeah, I know. And I really just kept getting super fried and simulating on my eras. That was the other downfall of Myteam for me, because I'm dude, this is way more fun. I don't even have to play 2K. I can just watch it.
I think everyone's been through that phase.
Oh, yeah. Except I have recorded none of it, and I've just been chilling so hard.
Would you recommend?
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. As far as this game goes, I probably wouldn't recommend anyone play Myteam unless you're gonna just play Breakout. That was the only thing I'd recommend, because domination for someone who doesn't play this game is a complete pain in the ass. I would say Breakout's fun. Anybody who doesn't seriously play this game that I've got to play it likes Breakout, because it's just whatever. The prizes are good enough that it's fine. It's kind of like Conquest and MLB The Show, just not as good again. But I would recommend people to play Eras for sure. If you're just casually wanting to play basketball, you can drop in my eras and just load some custom rosters up and hang out, and it takes 2 seconds and it's fun. But I have been grinding 2K quite a bit recently.
Have you played online at all?
Yeah, I've played 2 singular games this entire year.
Won both, obviously.
Yeah, I played 1 salary cap game, which I won by 30, so that guy sucks. And then I think I played Showdown once, and I matched up with instantaneously, first game I ever played, I matched up with the best team in the game at the time. I think this was season 5. So I don't remember what he had. Wemby was on the squad. It was just maxed out. And I was okay. And then I got sweated and pause cheesed, I think. And I was just okay, I'm never coming here again.
That was it. That was a wrap.
That was it. Yeah. I was this is the first game. I'm rocking a terrible squad. I think I was rocking Steven Castle at point guard at the time.
Yeah.
It was good. But like, no, I got stomped out, and I was like, all right, dude, we're going back to the streets of
Got run off.
offline. Yeah, I think my center was like the Arvidas Sabonis you got during the season. So I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm getting curb stomped right now. This is rough.
All right, GamingDad.
So for me, what keeps me around is I kind of go through phases with 2K. So, you know, one phase, I'll start off playing Showdown. Then a month later, I'll be heavy in the park. Then I'll be on like my grinder mode. I'll play like 1,000 games of Breakout in like 2 weeks. And so nothing really gets boring to me, but a lot of people aren't like that. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend people coming back because some people just pull their hair out, you know, type of like, not obviously not me, but just playing Showdown.
Yeah.
The whole 2K cycle, or just playing Park the whole 2K cycle, or just doing offline stuff the whole 2K cycle. And it's hard to play the game that way, obviously. But so for me, loving the game for the majority of the year, I've enjoyed it, but wouldn't necessarily recommend anybody else coming back, honestly.
Okay, we did everyone right. Okay, I'm gonna give my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about my opinion. Like Matt said, you know, community kind of brought me back. I'm really enjoying it, to be honest. I've pretty much enjoyed the experiences I've got back, and I'm doing a bit of everything, right? So, you know, I get my streak every week in Showdown, complete salary cap every week, done the spotlights, I grind to level 40, I get like the pass and grind to level 40, all of that stuff. I think there's a clear difference between two ways to approach this game. I think there are literally two ways to approach this game. Either you throw your entire bank account at it, or you throw nothing at it. I don't think there's any advantage of doing anything in between. But I think if you want to approach the game the way I do, I would recommend it. If you want to approach it with the view to come in and throw your bank account at it, I would warn you off very quickly, because it's really evident to me that there are some seriously addicted people right now in terms of spending, which I'm going to talk about more.
Oh my God, I've never seen anything this bad. I've never seen anything
so
non-substance related cause this much addiction issues. It's crazy. I'm seeing people flex like spending $1,000 a week. It's nuts.
I don't know what happened this week. Like, you guys told me, right? I don't know what happened this week. So every week I do the Showdown streak, like I said. And up until last week, I'd done it first time every time. The last week it took me 3 attempts, I think. And then yesterday it took me 4 attempts. But I don't know if it was, you know, they give the 100 overall locker code, which is obviously big W. I don't know if that was like giving people a taste of 100 overalls. And then people have just gone, right, these are the cards I want. I'm going to go throw my bank account at it. I don't know if there's like some deep rooted psychology in that, but I played 15 games yesterday total, right? 11 games of Showdown, 4 games of salary cap. So I did Showdown to get the streak, and then I did salary cap to get the stats, right? Because I wasn't going to be able to get the stats in Showdown. So when I say I didn't play, I don't think I played a squad that cost less than $1,000. I'm not exaggerating. Like, not one team. Also, not one person was doing the challenge. There was one guy who played in salary cap. So these guys just loading up with like 3 invincibles in their starting lineup. One guy had Yao on the bench. You know how crazy that is? How crazy that is. Like, he was just shooting Gasol's face. He'd literally catch and shoot in Gasol's face every possession, green, because that's the best person that had to guard it. I don't know what's happened recently, but in the last 2 weeks, it's just got really bad in terms of the way I'm what to spend money. A couple of weeks ago, I would have run into a squad similar to mine. Probably a few God squads here and there, run into Invincible Wemby now and then. Now it's just every squad. If you load up Showdown, you're playing a God squad every page. What's your thoughts? You guys feel like it's changed in the last few weeks?
I don't know. I don't play too much Showdown. This time around, I lost my first game to like a God squad type team, but I can't complain. My team's relatively good too. But the next 3 games, I ran into like basic, you know, Dark Matter. Dikembe was like somebody's best player, and I ran into good players, like tier 1 guys. But I didn't remember running into any like, you know, God squads, Invincibles, and obviously some 100 overalls, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I normally see, is like I don't really see like the Invincible Wemby teams that also have like other Invincibles. Like I feel like the most common thing for me to see is like these teams that you can tell they spent a lot of money and tried their damnedest to get a God squad, but it came up a little short. So it'll be like something like, I don't know, like 100 Shea, you know, maybe Mark Eaton and Dikembe, you know, like teams like that, like just like these like A-, B+ teams, I feel like is most common. I don't too often see those like super soup teams when I'm just playing online, but I do see them on Twitter all the time.
Yeah.
I'll say this first and foremost, not to defend those people that do spend, but it's their money. They can do whatever they want with it. If you know, as a old pimp from Detroit used to tell me, his name was Otis. He said, "It ain't tricking if you got it." So if you got it, go do it. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, man, this game stinks. And is it worth all that? No. I mean, quite frankly, I spend, and there was a time where I didn't, but I spent, and I'm a spawn of events, just like a lot of us in this community. We are event made now, and we're conditioned, and that's why you see a lot of these God squads. I can't speak for anybody else, but when I load up, whether I get stream sniped or not, I see the squads. I see the Wimbies, the invincible Wimbies. I see the Yows. I see these crazy squads. So, you know, I mean, they're out there, you know. But I do
when
see
you say events, do you mean like people are ripping to get the event cards to get like Invincible KD type things?
Sure.
That's the reason.
Goat Ream, all the people want the latest and greatest cards, man. They want the best, especially now since it's getting closer to the end game. They know those cards are reliable. That's why you see more people with these crazy squads, because in the beginning of the year, even in the middle, I don't think you've seen crazy squads like this. Yeah, you see a few on Twitter, whatnot. A lot of people are ripping these. I mean, it's self-evident, man. Scribner from the Washington Post, he reported it recently with the 43% uptick.
Yeah, they're killing it.
You know, I mean, they're cooking right now, and they know the ingredient. They know how to really press our proverbial buttons and really gouge us for a lot. And for some people, everything. These events are really hitting there. You know, people want the squads. People want the cards. I wanted KD. I got KD. I wanted Jokic. I got Jokic. So, you know, I mean, that's just what it is. But
do you think it's just conditioning?
It is that, and also, again, they know where to hit us. They are 2K Take-Two. They're geniuses. They know exactly how to not necessarily put a gun to those heads and say, hey, you know, buy this. No, they know how to corner us into getting these cards, man. Those cards are OP and their cards are great. And these events, that's a way to do it, you know, and that's just me. I mean, I'm sure this panel has different perspectives on that, but 2K really knows how to get us to get a lot of these cards. And I mean, that's what it is right now. I feel like we are being conditioned.
And one thing I want to add to that is a lot of people aren't realizing that all these cards that people spend a lot of money on the events. I mean, obviously you realize, but we don't think about it. They're all unauctionable.
Mhm.
The Hoff boxes, the KDs, the Jokic's, the Kareem. And I see more Jokic's and KDs than I do Invincible Wimbies. And that's just straight out your wallet. You know, Wimby, you can get blessed and get lucky. The KD and Jokic are straight out your wallet. So they're getting you to spend all this money just for the next event. You can't even sell them to try and, you know, make some shit shake to get the new one. You got to come out your wallet to get them. So that's where the money's coming from.
You start spending and you just don't stop. That's basically what's happening, right? Cool.
Pretty much.
Yeah, the dopamine rush. But also, Jazz, have you thought for just a second that 2K's algorithm recognizes you as like a sweat now?
See, that was what I was gonna say. Is it possible? Because this is an experience I've actually had. It's a real experience I've had since I got on this new account. This dude clearly had not played the game very much, and I haven't lost a game yet. And I've been in tier 1 for the last 2 days. I haven't played a tier 1 person yet. Like I'm not playing against the top level competition, even though I'm in tier 1 on this account, because I think all year.
Yeah.
Because I think all year this dude's been playing Showdown. He hasn't been that good. He's probably won 40-50% of his games.
Are you throwing shade at the guy who gave you the account right now?
No, I'm not throwing shade. I'm just being
right now.
I got this free account off this trash guy.
I'm sure we're gonna talk about it at some point. But no, at the end of the day, I do think there is a certain amount of skill-based matchmaking beyond the tier you're in and things like that. I'm guessing Jazz probably won 25 Showdown games in a row against a bunch of bums.
I lost my first game 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so then maybe you lost your first game,
dude.
and then they put you in a lower pool of players, and you've been beating up on them, and now you're getting into like a high pool of players, and they'll leave you there, and then it balances out, I guess. I don't know.
Squad?
Because the people who are good at the game play it a lot, and when they play it a lot all year, even if they don't spend money, they're going to have a decent team because they're going to know what they're doing in terms of saving their MT and making it last throughout the year. Now, playing Invincible Wimby and Jokic every game that's just bad luck, because like that's not going to happen every game regardless. But sounds like you just had an unfortunate experience yesterday in that aspect.
I screenshotted every lineup I faced. Just for proof, if anyone wants it, I'm happy to post it. It's mad.
We've been doing the podcast for 3 years. I know you go against Sweat Lords.
If it's that, I'm fuming. I'm going to go tank 50 games as soon as we get off this podcast.
Well, you're also
sure that would do it,
too.
though.
Get that elo down.
You could take 2 games and then it'll ban you for 30 minutes.
Yeah. It'll take me a while to throw 50 games, but I'll get there. Okay, cool. I'm going to skip ahead to something we were going to do later because we're kind of there, right? The game last year was awful. Was still to this day, I will say, the worst video game ever been released.
Yeah, because even 2K18 was fun to play.
Yeah. So this year we're in a different place because we're all playing it, and you know we must be enjoying it to an extent, or enough to keep us on the game. We might be just doing it for content, I don't know. But DBG, you know, our resident, non-controversial character in the community, dropped a video. And I thought it'd be a good place to start this podcast. It was probably the most unpopular video I think he's ever dropped. In fact, I don't think it's the most unpopular video he's ever dropped. But he titled the video, 2K25 Myteam is the least pay to win Myteam ever. The least pay to win. I have some quite strong thoughts on this, but let's open this up. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
I'm going to just start and say that no. 2K20 would be closer, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, just with the spotlight sims, like, yeah, you're paying with like, you know, time in your life you'll literally never get back. But at least there was like, I don't know, man. Actually, now that I think about it, though, the events, I just want to say I hate the events, by the way. I know people like them.
That's
I
a
hate
crazy
them.
take.
No, dude, they make how many pieces do I need
You're
to
just
get?
playing Breakout.
That's what I'm saying. But how many pieces do I need to get realistically? You're telling me I gotta get 50? Like
For the top
Yeah.
cars is crazy, but if you
dude, even
the
for
thing
like
that
the
comes in clutch-
lower level, like one or two
Yeah.
lowers, like come on.
what comes in
man.
clutch for me anyways is that 5-piece on the weekends. If you win your 5 straight games, and I know that
Yeah.
that's not like a
Oh, that's
cakewalk
not
for
happening
everybody.
for me.
Yeah, so if I do that, I can always get like the second tier down a card. So like the Josh Giddey Dark Matter, the Ben Wallace Dark Matter, or Tyrus Thomas. Like every event, I get like a card that can play for free for me because my team, I don't spend money for real. So like that's been clutch for me. If it wasn't for that 5 win streak that I could do, I could see why the events would be trash because at that point it's like pony up your money or you're gonna get like Amethyst Grayson Allen
I
or something
mean,
like.
I
guess
put
when
a
you-
poll up
when-
saying, are you getting cards or MT? And it was 50-50.
I guess
So-
when you put it that way, I guess he's not like as wrong as I defaulted to be like he's wrong, but maybe not.
That's because it was DBG.
Okay.
Yeah, I
You-
defaulted to fight him, I guess, but no, I think he might be right to a certain extent. Yeah.
It comes down to like where you found enjoyment also, man. Like, you know, it just hit me. There's a lot of people that don't spend and they like you, Jazz, you enjoying the game without
Yeah.
spending, you know, for guys like me that like to, you know, throw a few dollars, you know, out there and some a little bit more. That's their enjoyment, you know. And
Don't
that's
get
the
it
point.
twisted. I would enjoy the game more if I had Invincible Wemby.
Oh, I'm not getting nothing twisted. What I'm saying is, I mean, that's what it comes down to a lot of times, you know. Like the events are dubbed for a lot of budget ballers and no money spent, especially with these duos, you know, the method, the badge method, or you could do the JC method, you know, just quick sell everything, you know, whatnot, or AW method, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm planning on doing with all my little pieces. The 5 streak has been
I'm giving you a warning
as
before
Jacob
you do
said.
that. I'm going to give you a warning before you do that.
What's that?
So last season, each diamond piece
Okay.
sold for 200 MT, right?
Okay.
So each pack was 1,000, right? 5 in a pack.
Right.
Now each pack is 250 and each card is
Okay.
50. To make 250,000 MT, you need to quick sell 1,000 packs, which is 5,000 cards. And I started doing it yesterday and I've honestly tapped out after like
No
60.
good. No.
It's-
I did
you
it.
know.
I did my goat piece from last week, and I think it took me about an hour and a half to break down entirely a goat piece to diamonds to sell, which was like 100 something K.
Yeah.
It took me about an hour and a half to do.
It's
a goat
about
piece.
60K an hour. That's what you
Yeah,
get.
yeah, that sounds about right. I think I got the thing is they patched that little trick you could do so you could like avoid the cutscene for
Yeah.
the pack to pop up, so it
Yeah.
was faster. But now, yeah, I think it took me about an hour and a half, and I didn't do it all at once. I did like half of it for like 40 minutes, came back the next day, did the other 40 minutes while I watched YouTube or something. But I mean, you know, that's some people have the patience for that, some don't.
Man, Mojo, I'm telling you now, you
Uh-huh.
you can watch the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy to
Oh, you know, real quick, GamingDad, shout out to him real quick. He put me on to that method where you can just like press hold X and it instantly, you know,
Oh,
goes
yeah,
through
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
exchange. Yeah. That right there got me through the first event actually, and I rapidly quick so I guess that's the move with the MT method, huh? So no
The
dice
thing
on
is,
Jazz.
they still have that, but they patched there used to be a glitch where you could like get it to 100%, then it would stop, and then every time you did an exchange after that, the cutscene wouldn't pop up that showed you the pack that you just got, so you could just rifle through them. So they patched that, so now it takes like twice as long
yeah.
than what it did like during the first couple events, which sucks. But
So I just looked really quick and I would like to rescind everything I said because apparently I got every glitched card
what?
and I don't remember doing that. So
Which ones you get? Did you get like
the
Peja?
Giddy down. Yeah, Peja,
Giddy?
Giddy. I have them all except
You got Ben
for
Wallace?
No, I didn't get Ben Wallace.
Didn't get Ben?
I
Okay.
ran out. I was like 2 pieces short for Ben Wallace. I just completely forgot about this. So
How
maybe
did
the
you do
events were
that?
pretty good. So
You opened packs.
a little no. I was grinding. A little peek behind the curtain. My company was doing some product testing, and that's part of my responsibility. So I basically had to test products for like a week. And apparently I just locked in that week on 2K and I did all of
Those
this.
kind of products, yeah. You're
Yeah,
super focused on something.
That's a lot of breakout.
Yeah,
a lot of breakout.
I was playing a lot of domination too, because I guess I'm halfway done with this Jalen Williams domination, and I really don't remember playing this. Problem was I got on the Criterion collection. I was watching like Casino and shit. So I was just like passively grinding for like a week straight. And I guess I really popped off here. So never mind. DBG might be onto something. 'Cause there's no reason somebody who plays the game as little as I do, really, except for that week, should have like Giddy and Peja.
But I got Peja, and then I actually was fuming that I got Peja because I got Peja, and then like 2 days later figured out the best MT method, which I posted and went crazy. But I wasted like 200,000 MT.
And just to clarify, the reason that I forgot that I got these cards is because when I play Breakout, all I do is
Did you call it Bake Out? Is that what you just called
Bake Out. All I do is just cycle through every team and just do their best starting 5 that I have. So I just forget I have these cards most of the time. I just do theme teams all day.
Bake Out is great. JC, pay to win or no?
It depends on what you're considering. DBG is not talking about tier 1 showdown. DBG is talking about just the general experience of getting on the game. And if you're better than your opponent, you're probably going to win the majority of the time. And I think this year it is, as of right now, pretty attainable to have a good team without spending a lot of money. To have a great team without spending a lot of money is completely and utterly impossible. But to have a good team that can compete online if you are good at the game is completely and utterly feasible. And you could do it. I mean, you could start a new account today and have a pretty good team in 2 weeks, realistically. But all these festivals, if you've been playing throughout these festivals, there have been a lot of impactful free cards you can get, a lot of opportunities to make a lot of MT. People have been playing since the All-Star Festival, maybe even before that with the Winter Festival and things like that. These people have been able to make millions of MT from these events back when they were good.
I mean, I started even now, 2 months ago, and I'm about to hit 2 million.
Right. And like even now, yesterday's drop, Josh Childress is like 8,000 MT, and he's like the best pink diamond shooting guard I think they've ever dropped.
Hold on. Did you say Josh Childress?
He's a bit, mate.
Josh Childress is he's absolutely amazing.
I thought you said he was going to gas him, JC.
And I'm being honest, he's incredible. And like the Vlad Rad card they dropped yesterday is 100 and some odd K, and he's 6'10" with the best SIGs in the game, pretty much. It's small forward. Like you can build a very, very good team of attainable and free cards. You're not getting Invincible Wemby. You're not getting Invincible Jokic. You're not getting Invincible KD, 100 overall Yao, guys like that. But unless you are playing against sweats, for the most part, if you are pretty good at the game, you can have a team where you can win the majority of your games, online or offline, whatever, without spending a lot of money. So I think for what DBG is talking about specifically for the average player, sure, it's not that pay to win. For somebody who's sweating the game, it's the most pay to win it's ever been. When it comes to the sweatiest of levels on this game, it's pretty ridiculous how overpowered these invincibles can be compared to somebody who's just got like a solid good team of Dark Matters and a couple hundred overalls and stuff.
Yeah. I agree. I think where that video went wrong was the headline. I actually agree with everything that DBG said in the video. But to make that as a blanket statement, like you said, you have to put it in perspective. You know, if you're sweating tier 1 or King of the Court or whatever, you know, you need the better card. But even Ty's running a kind of budget-y squad, right? And he's getting close to winning or winning every week in King of the Court. So, you know, if your skill level is that high, you know, you can run. If you're
one of the 2 best players in the community, the game's not very pay to win. Profound statement right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're putting the bar really high.
Yeah, he's a bit mid at this game, I know. The problem is, I think everything he said was correct in the video. You can pick up the game, you can pick up a decent squad, you can definitely pick up a fun squad, and you can definitely pick up a squad that will beat a bad player at the game regardless of what cards they're running. I think all of that is true. Pay to win to me is defined by 2 people at the same skill level playing each other. So it's not only at tier 1, right? It's 2 newbies on the game matching up. If one of them's got 4 pink diamonds that, you know, are considered budget beasts, and the other guy's thrown 3 grand at the game on day 1, which, by the way, I played people who say clearly done that. You know, they've got KD, Giannis, Wemby, Yao. That person's winning 9 out of 10 games. They just are. The cards are so overpowered that the difference between the accessible... Like I grinded out for Rudy Gobert, right? He got absolutely bitched by Wemby yesterday. Like, he wasn't even there. Wemby was shooting wide open. in his face. So there is a big difference. I think it is pay to win. I think what DBG, I'm not going to say what he meant to say, but I think what makes more sense considering what he said is the game isn't pay to play. I think you can get involved. You can pick up a squad. You know, you can grind out, do what I did. I haven't spent any money. I've spent £36 on this game, including the game. Shout out to 2K, by the way, gave me the game and Pro Pass, which was a surprise to me as well. Yes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yes, that was surprising. I haven't spent money, and can I compete? Yeah, but if I match up with someone who's at a similar skill level to me, and they've got a god squad, it's very unlikely I'm going to win that game. And if I do, I have to work way harder than they do.
Has that ever not been true though?
No.
To play devil's advocate, has there ever been a point in time in this game where you gave two players the same skill level? You gave one of them a significantly better team than the other guy, and the team I don't know.
I guess the argument would be is this more of the best players and the true best players in the game were free. Like if you went back to like 2K20, like yeah, you could be no money spent and have Glenn Rice, and then boom, you have the best 300 in the game, and you can compete with anybody. I guess that would be the argument, right? Or like 2K21, boom, you get level 40 Steph, you got the best card in the game, you didn't spend any money, but you got the best squad, so you can compete with anybody. I think it's always been, the better team, same skill level, the better team's going to win. The difference is that the better team used to be more accessible without spending money, but rather by grinding.
And I also think the gap was smaller. So the answer to that question, JC, is no. I don't think it's always been the case. Like 22 for me is the best example. You know, we got end of the year, Luka and MJ were still the best point guards in the game. 6'6", 6'7", right? You know, my Manu trying to guard Ben Simmons is a joke. Like, I got to switch Paul George onto Ben Simmons, and now Manu's guarding Giannis. I'm screwed. I think the gap is wider. And like I said, I think there's two clear routes to play this game. If you're playing it the way I do, you're going to have undersized card. And that power creep to where the top cards are, I think is massive. One of the biggest it's ever been. Specifically in terms of what the cards do for you, rather than what you're doing with the cards. Yeah.
Well, so I don't, my 2K, my team doesn't go back as far as you guys. But if you look at the example you use, right? Wemby shooting over your players, that's more so an issue with the game this year, I feel like. Not necessarily, because that's been the issue all year. Pink Diamond Wemby was shooting over everybody. Opal Wemby was shooting over everybody. Whereas if you look at it, we're just now getting big point guard, right? Besides Magic, the closest was Penny. We didn't get any other position guys or anything like that. In previous years, it was pay to play, because if you got, one of the 7-foot point guards and you paid for it, you were going to mash them, right? Whereas this year it was just Magic. And Magic, granted, he was able to do his thing in the paint. But, if you had a 6'4" and above, like an Oscar type point guard, you were fine. There was no 7-foot point guard. It's a gameplay issue, I feel like. Man, Wemby is just the ultimate, the ultimate card.
Absolutely broken.
Correct.
Yeah.
I remember when he came into the league, people were literally saying like, "Oh yeah, this guy's just gonna be the best. This is gonna be the best 2K. Yeah. He's just gonna break my team." Like we all knew when he came in the league. Like nobody.
But whose idea was it to give him an uncontestable jumper on top of that?
That's a good point.
Okay.
I'm not convinced that was intentional. I'm not convinced I'm not convinced they tested that. To be totally honest,
they can't have.
Well, because the contest system is broken in some sort of way. I feel like every year
it's been broken all year.
Yeah, it's not just 2K will put out broken SIGs and broken cards, and then, like you said, they don't test them, and then once they realize they're broken, they're like, well, we can sell packs with that.
Wemby has been a more dramatic example of that problem all year, but the contest system has been broken all year, and that tall players shoot over short players at a more effective level than they ever have. You just can't put a short player on the court because they cannot contest.
Yeah.
It's just like if you're trying to run somebody who's 6'3" and your opponent's running somebody who's 6'8", not only are you going to get mashed and out rebounded, and they're going to get better animations because their player build's bigger, but they're also just going to shoot over you with you trying to contest in their face, and you're not going to get a contest. Like that's just the way the game's been all year.
Do you not think that's an argument for pay to win?
I made a video on my own channel calling pay to win the worst it's ever been, like a month ago. I think pay to win is terrible.
Right, fair. Yeah, okay. I got a slight tangent on this as well. Matt, you might be the best person to answer this. I have done so all these squads I was running into yesterday, lost thousands of pounds. By the way, I'm just going to caveat something real quick. We're going to get into community stuff later, but this whole pocket watching thing, right? I'm 41 years old, and if I see a young person wasting their money on anything, I'm going to tell you to stop. So if you're young and wasting your money on this, please stop. You call me a pocket watcher if you want, but I just want to be like really clear on that. I have no, no shame in telling people not to waste their money. If you've got all the money in the world, go crazy. But I have done everything the people I was playing yesterday have done, right? I've got my showdown streak, 3 wins King of the Court last week, get salary cap done every week. In terms of achievement, I've achieved everything that these people have achieved outside of the one thing, which is potentially winning King of the Court, right? If to spend money and kind of get that outcome, but you're probably spending more than you would get back from winning King of the Court. So even that would put you at a net loss, right? So my question is, what's the reason to spend money on 2K25? Because if DBG's right, there's no answer to that question.
To stunt.
There absolutely is an answer to that question, 100%. And from talking to people who have spent a lot of money on this game this year, it's let's just be totally honest. I got this new account. I'm having more fun since I started playing the game on this account. It's more fun to use the best cards. I'd be lying to say it's not. It's very simple. If people like to use the newest, biggest, baddest, best. Is it financially irresponsible for a lot of the people who are spending their money on this? 100%. Is it not for a lot of people as well? A lot of people just have FU money. Like some of these people I've talked to legitimately just have FU money and they can afford to just blow $2,500 on packs in a weekend and it doesn't matter.
I've been that guy.
And for people who have that, they want to use the best cards. They don't really care that much how much it costs. And so that the reason people do it is because they want to use the best because it's more fun. Is it stupid for a lot of the people who do it? I think 100% yes.
Yeah. It's 100% the enjoyability aspect, man. Let me tell you, when you get a hold of a card like a Shea or a Jokic with the Garland, dribble style and the Stevie size up, and spam that. It feels good. It feels amazing when you have KD. It feels good when you have the Yaos or the Wembies or whatnot. It really does. A lot of people do it also to flex, which I think that's weird, but to each his own. Me personally, that's
do you think
the
it's a
reason
flex?
why.
Do you think
no, it's not a flex. Hell no. Do you think it's a flex for anybody to have all these cards, especially when we're about to get to NBA 2K 26? Absolutely.
I just don't even hypothetically understand what the flex is.
That it's, again, like I said earlier, you can do whatever you want with your money. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But I know you have a different perspective on it, Jazz. It's their money, it's their pockets. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We can't tell these men and women what they want to do with their money. If they want to spend it on 2K26, cool. If they want to jack it off on something else, they can do that too. The point of the matter is that, it's all about enjoyability. I like doing what I do because I love the game. I love the game of basketball. This is the only major basketball sports title in gaming right now. There's no NBA Live. We don't have NBA Jam. We don't have Hang Time. We don't have NBA Elite. We don't have any of those games to basically counter 2K. And if there was a game, it would be a completely different story. Probably have completely different odds. The community would probably be treated a little bit better. That's another story for another day. I feel like 2K is doing what they do best. You know what I'm saying? Is that sale. They're doing their job, and we're just, a lot of us, including myself, are catering into it. This game, I ain't gonna lie, spending is cool and all, but it's not fun. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say this also, just because you have the best cards doesn't mean, and you can have all the invincibles in the world, doesn't make you invincible. Okay. You got to get in here and you gotta grind the game. You got to lab the game. You got to do all the same. You got to get in, where you fit in, as we say.
No truer words are going to be spoken on this podcast. 99% of people that spend money in this game are absolutely at this game.
I'm gonna be honest, Jazz. It is a flex. I just flexed having 90 cigarette merch.
Yeah,
so
and all
people
the glitch
flex
cards.
stupid shit.
Don't forget that.
That wasn't a flex. That was a surprise. I did not remember getting those. I know we're gonna touch on this later, but it just happened to me for the first time. Actually, I just had 2K reverse a transaction for the first time, and I'm like really mad about it.
What do you mean? From the auction house?
Yeah. This has never happened to me before because I suck and don't play this game very often. But I had like a Diamond Westbrook from season 1, and there was none, so I just put it up for 100K, and someone bought it, and then they said no.
That's wild.
I'm like, okay. Wild. I got the only one in existence, man. I think I can charge what I want for it, but whatever.
Yeah. Going back to what Matt said, the incentive to spend money, I'm going to be really honest with you guys, right? Yesterday was the first time I had that kind of twinge where I was like, should I open some packs? I'll be like dead honest. I really had that feeling yesterday after losing a couple of games in Showdown, especially trying to compete with Wemby and Yao, etc. I genuinely had that moment where I was like, should I? It would make it so much easier because I'm losing to people who are worse. Like, I know they're worse than me. Why am I losing by 2 points to this squad with my squad? So I know if it's a level playing field, I will beat them. I know it. And I had that moment and I fought that temptation and I got the streak done, you know, in the next attempt. Probably a good thing because otherwise I might have. But at the end of the day, I'm really struggling. And, you know, this is a criticism. Do what you want to do. Like JC and Matt, you're both also very, you know, pretty good at the game. You know, you can dribble, you know, you make the most of these animations, etc. You know, I saw Matt dribbling with Vince Carter. It looked pretty impressive. A lot of people who are spending money can't do any of these things. You know, they run around in circles, kick out, run around in circles, kick out. That's basically their entire offense. And they just want big cards to do it. I just don't understand. I don't know if I'm missing something. Maybe it's my age. I don't know. I don't, like, if you take me back, I could give you reasons why I would pick up certain cards, right? T-Mac in 23. Radiant T-Mac. There was a clear reason to pick up that card, you know?
Right.
I'm not seeing the
What was the reason back then?
ultimate advantage.
Just to play devil's advocate again, what
Because
was
of the
reason back
gameplay
then?
and the way it lent into that card. And Webby would be the same thing now.
Because he was the best?
Exclusively. I don't think he was.
Because he was the best for like 2 months. He was the best card in
Yeah,
the game.
yeah, he was probably the best card in the game. Yeah.
So is that
He was,
why T-Mac was the
You
because
could
he was the
argue
best?
Yao was better, and I went for T-Mac over Yao. But
Okay, so T-Mac was the best shooting guard for
He
quite a
was.
while. So that's why you wanted him, right?
yes, but I also think the way the game played in 22, it made me more dominant with that T-Mac, despite being quite, I guess, average to good at the game, then I'm watching average to good players be with meta cards this year. I'm not seeing people do with Invincible KD what I was doing with that T-Mac 2 years ago, right? So if we're talking about it from a fun perspective, I agree. I think if you can use the cards, then you will absolutely have more fun. But the majority of people that I'm running into, I'm not very good at the game. I shouldn't have gone whatever it was, 8 and 3 yesterday. Every squad I played was better than mine. Every squad I played was more expensive than mine. They're not. Is that fun? Is that what they're paying for? To spend that money and get bopped by a no money spent squad?
I feel like also, and I failed to mention this, the reason why a lot of people pay and buy certain cards is because some of their favorite cards are locked behind a paywall. The LeBron James of the world, the Wemby's or whatnot. A lot of these major, names that they're actual fans of, it's locked behind, a certain paywall or whatnot. And again, just because they have those type of cards, those invincibles, whatnot, does not make them invincible. Just because they have 100 overall does not make them 100. I promise you. A lot of these guys out here just playing to play. Just because they have a God Squad doesn't mean they're good, So with that being said, though, and also real quick, thank you for the compliment. But when I first got back into my team, JC is actually the first person to help me out and get my dribbling right. So shout out to him.
Me next.
Okay, I gotta give honor, respect, and due to that man. Yeah, appreciate that.
Cool. Right.
We play fundamental basketball over here, so
Real quick, I just got to say, since we're on the topic, the dribbling is the worst it's been in
It's so bad.
so many
I
years.
hate
They
it.
just nerfed
I
and
hate
nerfed and nerfed it into the ground to the point where, like, you watch a Nike stream and he don't even look like he moving no more. It's just sad. It's sad.
JC, do you agree that T-Mac was more fun than the cards this year?
Yeah, that's just because the dribbling was more fun in 23 than it is now.
The walk back. Oh my.
Although that being said, using this point guard Jokic and this Bob Pettit and stuff, it's like, well, that's still more fun. It definitely is. Like,
We can't all
I
pay
don't
for
know.
accounts, JC. Some of us are
Oh yeah, I bought it apparently. Don't you know?
Yeah. I imagine it'd be a lot more fun. Let's round this out, right? I think my team is pay to win this year, my opinion. Although I think it's one of the least pay to play. My team. I think you can jump on, have fun, get wins. I think there's a lot of pride in beating some of these squads as well. Like I feel better about beating a god squad than they probably do about beating me. There's a lot there, but absolutely pay to win, 1000%. That's my summary. Anyone else? Can anyone else give me something you would gain from spending money or?
I can
paying
add
cards?
one last thing. I apologize for how much I've been talking recently, but I think Triple Threat Park, look, the game mode itself, I don't love it. I think it was poorly optimized. I think we'll talk later on about how they could have certainly done a much better job with that concept this year. But the way they've done co-op / Triple Threat Park the last couple of years, I think is one of the main reasons that a lot of people have stayed on the game, is because they have the ability, if they get one good card, to just go play with their friends and hop on, play a few games, have some fun with their friends, talking to their friends and interacting with them while also playing the game. And so they get a certain amount of enjoyment out of hanging out with their friends and doing that communally, even if it isn't resulting in winning or even if it isn't super rewarding. And so there might be an incentive to, I want to get this really good card so I can use some park, go have fun with your friends, stuff like that. I think that has kept enjoyment in the game for a lot of people, that mode, even though I think it is poorly optimized. in a lot of ways.
Can I insert a tweet here? Because you've pretty much just quoted the tweet. All right, let's get on to the next one because JC's brought it up. So Marcus Saunders, how much has 2K taking out TTO and clutch time affected your enjoyment playing Myteam? That was the literal next question. Smooth transition. I respect it. Miss TTO, Miss clutch time, co-op as well, I guess. Thoughts?
I don't miss it at all.
Wild.
Now I understand clutch time. I wasn't my game mode, so I understand why people do miss clutch time. So don't get me, don't get it twisted saying the mode shouldn't be in the game. But me personally don't miss it at all. People hate me when I say it. I prefer the park over triple threat.
Why?
Don't ask me why. I don't know. It's just,
I want to know why. I think that needs to be explored a little bit.
I've tried playing co-op the past 2 years. It was just in 2K23, right? Co-op?
Yeah.
24, yeah.
No, it was 23, no?
Yeah, it was in both of them, 23 and 24.
Okay, yeah. Just wasn't a fan of it for some reason. I come from a park background. I played park in 19, 18, 17, 16, never touched my team. And it's like when people say, like, when NBA players say the first time I saw Jordan, it's like, I can't explain why. It was just like an aura around him. I just enjoy park. There's wait time.
The way it is because of the aura.
Yeah, I just enjoy it. I enjoy playing the game, sitting on the
It's the Rivet City visual.
With my friends, just talking shit in the Discord. Yeah, there's wait time, but we're talking shit, entertaining each other. I don't know. It's just.
But you could do that in co-op. You're still like Discord, whatever, like, chatting to people.
Yeah, but you can't make your dream man. That's the problem.
Is it a role play?
There we go. Yeah, because Josh makes his guy look like LeBron James.
Josh always tries to make his dude look sexy for no reason.
You got white guys pretend to be black guys in the park. It's just the aura, man.
Yeah, you do.
So
you can tell what
it's role play.
Yeah,
basically.
you can tell what the accent that comes out too. You're like, all right, chill out, dude. You're from Connecticut. Relax.
Yeah, but that's my answer. I don't have I understand
Do you think
the
it ever
frustration.
goes the other way?
No.
With what?
Do you reckon there's ever black guys pretended to be white guys?
Absolutely
I'm
not.
So I'm not trying to make this like a race thing, but I've seen people in like groups on Twitter say that when they bring like a white guy to the park, that people legitimately like don't pass them the ball. Like, I don't know what it is.
Cooper Flag's coming to fix our stereotypes, my friends. We're gonna make it out. Just wait.
Yeah,
Cooper Flag's
we'll
coming to
see
save
about
us.
We'll see about that.
That's crazy.
But to answer your question, I've done that. I do normally make my guy based on who I'm currently using in park. I do the face creators off YouTube, and there's been a couple times this year. Like right now, I'm rocking a Bob Pettit, so my guy looks like Bob Pettit.
Wow.
Okay.
Respect. So he's got the receding hairline. That's crazy.
All that, just like me for real.
I hate it with a passion. I'll be the first one to say it. Please bring back old TTO. Please bring back old co-op.
You know what made me
clutch time, please.
Sick of it though is the last thing I did on 2K24 was play win 400 games of TTO for that Glenn Rice card, and then immediately like got Glenn Rice, went into freestyle, shot with him, said wow, and then uninstalled the game. And after that, I just never wanted to like repeatedly play TTO games back to back to back like I was doing. That killed me. So like the park, I don't mind at all. The one thing about it though is that the lag is just crazy. So that's the one thing. I don't know even how that got out of like testing and development because it's been laggy all year. If they fixed the lag, I would just be like, all right, cool. Like no sort of complaint beyond that. The waiting 5 minutes for a game is kind of whatever, especially if you can just get on a court and stay because you win. But like that's the lag is what kills it for me. Outside of that, no complaints.
The lag in the EU is particularly bad.
I don't know. The lag in the park in general is crazy. Like every other game mode is fine for me, but that mode is weird. And it feels like 2K like tried to offset it by like making the green windows bigger on the park or turning down the difficulty. So like I'll shoot shots on the park when I'm lagging. I'm like, there's no way. And it'll just be like green. I'm like, all right, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. That's the one thing I can't stand about it. Outside of that, it's whatever. I also like the fact that it's smaller because like the 2K park itself, they used to have small parks like that, and then they turned it into the city where you have to like run miles to get to a court. So like the actual layout of the park itself is pretty nice because it's compact. Like you don't have to like run around in circles to find a court. Like you spawn in and you're there. So that's cool.
for somebody like me that loves the threes, I feel like triple threat park is cool. I understand how they trying to integrate park in my team, which is cool and all, but it just doesn't work, especially when you wait for like I sometimes I'm in dead parks and I have to wait like 10, 15 minutes for games sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And then what if nobody pulls up on you if you're on a streak, and there's so many other factors. Don't get me wrong, it's cool to be out in the park, but it's the convenience factor for me, where I miss, triple threat and of course clutch time and modes like that.
It's just the time, man. It's just so much time for the same outcome. Like, one of the agendas is 400 wins in park. How long would that realistically take? Every time you lose, you now got to wait another 15 minutes for a game, right? As two guys put up bricks against each other.
If you're good, 400 really doesn't take that long. Normally, I run off like 100 in like the first like 3 or 4 days, and then I just like tell myself I'm gonna get.
Is that you playing all day though? That's got to be you playing all day.
No. I only play
30 wins a day.
Lucky. If I'm lucky, I play like 3. Like on the good day, I play 3 hours a day. Like that first week of the season, I really lock in, and then after that, I'm kind of like, oh, I'm gonna get 400, but then I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna go back to grinding teams and doing squad builders and shit.
So if you're saying 9 hours for 100 wins, so 36 hours for 400 wins.
That sounds right.
If you're like, because when I play, I'm playing with pretty good people. I'm running, co-op, not triple threat solos. And yeah, we normally
40 legend bad Shack as well. Don't forget that.
Yeah, 40 legend bad Shack. Can't forget about that.
Co-op can be sweet. If you're on a team with like 3 guys who know what they're doing and decent cards, like you're gonna win 98% of your games.
And a lot of times you run into people that like, they're running like with their friend that has a shit card, running with like a pink diamond Donovan Mitchell. Like it's like there's a lot of opportunity in co-op to get some pretty quick wins.
For sure. It's faster than solo as long as you have good teammates that you actually know and that play the game for real. Yeah.
If they brought clutch time back, I would go back to making my sim video.
Oh my gosh. As a clutch time made gameplay YouTuber last year, I missed that game mode so much.
It was so easy, wasn't it? 5 minutes.
It was so easy. And that was my favorite game mode last year, probably mostly because of that. I am personally of the opinion that Triple Threat Park, keep it, just put it in the park and bring back Triple Threat Online, bring back Clutch Time Online. Leave Myteam as is and put a Myteam section in the park and throw Triple Threat Park over there and throw like Myteam co-op over there as well, like a Myteam rec. Throw that over there too.
I've got
an idea. Put that as something you can implement into the park and leave Clutch Time Online. They're going to bring Clutch Time Online back next year and promote it as this new amazing thing. Like, oh my gosh, we've been listening to y'all. We're bringing Clutch Time Online back. And it's like, it never should have gone anywhere.
Yeah, we got Auction House last year. We'll get Clutch Time this year. By 2K28, it'll be 2K22 again. Like,
well, yeah, we're not gonna have a regular 5v5 online mode for a year, and they're gonna bring that back. Oh my gosh, we're bringing back Unlimited.
JC, would this work though? Could they just do like a theater? Is that what it is in the park? Like the theater? Is that what it is? Where it's just like a door you go to and spawn into a
theater
game?
is matchmaking. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they could just put a theater version in my team that would be like essentially old Triple Threat Online, right? Like just instant matchmaking in the TTO park and then leave it in my team. I feel like that would satisfy
I'm for it.
Yeah, that'd probably work.
I just want the ability to have instant matchmaking in Triple Threat Online if you want it. And I want the ability to have Clutch Time Online back, period. But I don't think the park concept is a bad idea. People seem to clearly like it. It's not my thing personally, but a lot of people like it. Why take it out? Just, you didn't have to take out other features that people enjoyed by adding a new thing, is my thought.
Yeah. I'm surprised they did it though, because at the end of the day, you would think that there'd be people who spend thousands of dollars a year on builds that were like, you know what, I'm just going to go get one good Myteam card for each position and just play TTO Park.
I think they'll do that cost them all less. Right? I reckon they'll do it at the end of the year, yeah. Once like the cards are like 5K.
But with my team, the scale slides. So eventually those park guys that are spending money on builds are going to say, okay, yeah, I guess I can spend $100 on this half box to get, 100 overall player. And then they're not going to get the 100 overall they want. Like, you know what? I normally spend 500 on builds a year. Let me put another 100 on another half box. And they're going to spend money on my team too.
That is true. But I feel like I feel like on park, like Ben Wallace is a park card is insane. Like he really is. He got Patty Base and Max D. Like what more would you want from a walk, right? Like I feel like it's like easier to like build a park team. Like the Invincible Wemby, of course, is going to go crazy in the park. But like, I think that like certain cards are just good for park, but like probably not crazy in showdown, just that are cheap too. Like Josh Childress would be a crazy good park card.
Yeah.
You could use him as a primary in park, no problem. He's got it all.
That pink diamond squad is looking pretty cracked right now, isn't it? If you
The Klingon and Beasley have been in my. They can't go away, bro. Every time I try to take them out, they just wind up back. They're just
Childress, Caspi, Beasley, Klingon, and who?
And there's a lot, man. You could literally pull up to the park right now with Beasley. Even if you come with Pink Diamond Dr. J, people are still going to be like, okay, that's still a threat. You know, like, there's a lot of good Pink Diamond cards. And Beasley's what, like 20K right now?
Yeah, get Satellite Takeover rolling on like Beasley or Dr. J, and like they're going to get up threes at as good a rate as anybody. Like, you can, because the SIGs in this game are pretty mid anyway. So, like, I mean, I could 300 just as well with Pink Diamond Dr. J as I could with whoever. I don't know.
Can I tell you what my issue with Park is? I have never been so disrespected by a game in my entire life than Park in my team. I loaded up a couple of weeks ago. I was like, right, I'm going to go get the 3 games played or whatever it was for the piece. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go in and I'll play 3s because usually I just jump on a 1's court, get it done. I was like, I'll play 3s. I loaded up. The game that was going on that court, they were right, like bad. It was just two teams throwing up pretty mediocre cards. I'm like, I don't care who my teammates are, I'm going to carry. I sat there for 15 minutes waiting for that game to end. With like 1 bucket to go, a squad rocks up, kicks me off the court. I stood there for 15, 20 minutes watching one of the worst games of 2K I've ever seen. And a squad rocked up and kicked me off the court. That is the most disrespectful shit ever. Why is that there? Why is that a thing? Surely people are queuing up for the game.
Honestly,
surely.
I like it.
You would want to do it. I'm being punished for having no friends. That's why I got punished.
There was not to sidetrack too much. There was one year in the park where you could read like a certain legend tier or something, and you could just kick people off the spot no matter what. Even if they had a full squad, you could just walk up and just kick them off the spot.
I need to get some friends. Good look. I miss it. Like, just the main thing with Clutch Time is gameplay. I started making YouTube videos again because Clutch Time existed. That's why I came to YouTube, because it was so easy just to do a 5-minute gameplay and then upload a video and whatever. Like, I'm not sitting through. JC, I don't know how you do it. You know, you uploaded 20 videos yesterday.
Do you want to know how I do it?
Yeah, I do.
The secret to doing it is you quit the game as soon as you're done with the showdown. As soon as you're done with the gameplay. And so if I'm doing 5 game, okay, the problem is when I do 5 gameplays on an account, I have to play the first 3 showdown games all the way through because you get quit banned after 2 games. So I will, but I don't care. I have given at this point, I refuse to sit through a 30-minute game every single gameplay I do. I will just quit after the gameplay unless there is a specific reason to finish that game. Like, if somebody specifically requests me to play it for something, I will.
The game and just dip if you're happy with the gameplay.
Absolutely. Every gameplay, I stop at halftime.
Why have I never noticed?
I play the first half, and then I end the gameplay, and I quit right after I quit the recording. Almost every single gameplay. How else am I going to get 20 videos? I mean, I uploaded 13 videos yesterday, and I recorded like 22. How am I going to get that many videos done?
Recording 22 videos in a day is insane.
Well, I worked 16 hours yesterday, so that'll do it.
Yep. And then you got up at, God knows what time to hang out with us, degenerates. We appreciate it.
I had to do all of it yesterday so that I was free today. Plus my brother's birthday's this weekend. So we're doing that tonight as well. So I'm busy, but that's a whole other thing.
Nice. Happy birthday to your bro. All right. Anyone else want to add anything to TTO part Clutch Time?
Nah, I want it back, but just like, please stop resetting me, man.
on the TTO board. Oh, yeah. Clutch Time. That was a
You talking about Clutch Time resetting you?
I forgot about that.
It's like once I get to a high enough tier, I just get 3 sweat lords in a row and just get rocked out. And I'm like, I hate this game so much.
I remember there was one. What was it? Was it Juancho? Was that the car when they dropped it in Clutch Time and he was like RNG and it was hell, bro. It was hell. Like I don't think I can't actually remember ever getting reset in Clutch Time, but that weekend I was struggling to win a game. It was bad.
Yes.
But yeah, I do miss the mode. Right. Should we get to another topic? Another tweet?
I want to say real quick, can 2K26 not have like the quit bans, just the bans? I'm tired of bans.
The quit bans are just there to prevent boosting. It's the only reason they're there. It doesn't really work that well anyway, but that's the only reason they're there. They're not there to keep people playing or fair play or whatever stuff 2K calls. Yeah, no, they're there to prevent boosting. So they're not going anywhere, unfortunately. 95% of the community isn't boosting, so it just screws 95% of the community to stop the 3% that are boosting, but it is what it is.
You would have to be an absolute amoeba not to figure out how to boost on this game. It's not solving anything.
Yeah.
Agreed, but
check the leaderboards.
I mean, it's so obvious how to do it if you wanted to do it, surely.
Right.
Everyone on this call knows, yes?
No, why would I know? I get ripped and play eras. I don't even play it. It plays itself.
I mean, yeah, if you wanted to, you're right. Matt's right. Get rid of it. It's not achieving anything. If someone wants to boost on the game, they will figure out how to do it, and it's not particularly to figure that out. So it's achieving nothing. Cool. We've got Hibachi next up. With 2K24, players were near impossible to access, but there was content with actual rewards and not RNG. So there was actual rewards in 2K24. 2K25, all players are accessible. I don't think I'm going to disagree with that straight away, but the whole year has been about RNG with hidden gems or reward pack. Do you think 2K will ever find a medium of accessibility and reward? So I guess that the headline here is this year, every reward, well, everything really outside of the events is RNG. 99 packs, 100 packs, invincible packs, Hall of Fame boxes, everything. Salary cap reward, showdown
I don't want
rewards.
to tackle this from like an amoeba perspective for a second. But
Look forward to it. Go on.
2K's biggest problem, I feel like, and they've never been able to get the balance right, is the balance between like rewarding and then sinking your entire life into the game. They've never been able to get that correct, in my opinion. Whereas like other card collection modes do a better job, like MLB The Show, and like Madden's still a bit intensive, if I'm being honest, but it's a little bit more user friendly, I think. But that's been 2K's problem realistically since I can remember, at least back in like 2K17, 2K16, it was still kind of an issue, but just every card that you can earn in 2K is locked behind like an absurd grind that takes a whole work week at the bare minimum to do, and they've just never been able to find that balance, in my opinion. So, I mean,
anyone else?
Is this better? Maybe, but I don't know. I just would like to get a pretty solid card after like not having to do that much work.
Yeah.
That's
so
it.
I think the reason I kind of stopped and didn't agree is every card is accessible. I guess theoretically that's true.
Yes.
But is KD accessible?
No, not for me.
Event cards aren't feasibly accessible just because I mean, you have to spend so much to get them. I can't feasibly call that accessible. Everybody else technically kind of sort of is, technically. But like, are they really? Is Invincible Wimby accessible? Not really. Is Invincible, I don't know, T-Mac from yesterday was 3 million MT. Do we consider him accessible at 3 million MT? No, I don't think so. So like, what is considered? I mean, I've split my lists up now on my ranking lists between attainable cards and non-attainable cards, and basically anything under 500K is what I call attainable at this point. And otherwise, they're not attainable. Yeah, because
a lot of people are just disregarding the high tier cards.
Everybody's accessible, but most of these top tier cards really aren't for 90%.
But then, if you don't have disposable income, they're not accessible.
Right, pretty much, unless you're super lucky or extremely disciplined.
Yeah.
So I know this isn't the point you're making, Jazz, that they're not ever going to be accessible, but I have a feeling that's what Hibachi meant more. Like every card besides Invincible Wimby eventually is going to drop in price. The only reason I say except Invincible Wimby is because the Opal was still going for over 1 million MT when 100 overalls came out.
Yeah.
So Invincible Wimby's forever going to be expensive. But when Hibachi said it, I'm pretty sure, I know Hibachi, that's my guy. He probably meant so like last year, cards weren't accessible until the end and they were still through pack. Yeah, they just boosted the odds a little bit to get, gold cards and Invincibles and stuff like that. This year, 100 overalls are already dipping in price. Invincibles, Dr. J is already dipping in price quite a bit. Eventually, the cards will be accessible without having to pull. I think that's what he meant.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, the difference between last year and this year is two different worlds. Like, he's spot on. I just think the idea that every card is accessible just isn't true.
Yeah, that was a bit of a reach.
Yeah. Which begs the question, have they got it right? I guess if a handful of cards we're saying are not accessible, but most cards are, I mean, it's a hard question, right? Because actually, if you're spending money on this game, cards are super accessible.
Well, most of them, yeah. I think something that is a tough line to toe is what we consider. What is cool with 2K in terms of them? They're a business at the end of the day. They're trying to make money. What are we cool with? What are we not? Obviously, I think this year we're at a point where things have crossed over a line where we're not cool with it. Kind of like last year was obviously worse with the complete inability to guarantee yourself anything, no matter what, with the gambling aspect. But I think it's a question of what is okay and what is not. Because should every card in the game be attainable in 15 minutes for every single player? No. But should every single Invincible, with the exception of like Gary Payton, be unattainable for 90% of the community? Also, no. You know what I mean? I think there's an in-between there that 2K has not straddled very much. I think that's a big part of what Hibachi's saying, honestly.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that in-between will ever be a balance that they really even try that hard to Attain at this point because their revenue's going up so much. Why would they? I don't even blame them.
Well, like I said, spending money pays for everyone, right? It pays for the person spending money and it pays for them as well. But the accessibility is there. I mean, would you say, let's say, it's so difficult. I guess from my lens, it's so difficult to make this point to someone who's played the game differently. The best way I can do it, actually, is by saying the locker code, the 100 overall locker code, was the first 100 overall card I'd been able to obtain this year.
Right.
So that was the first access I had to 100 overall. And yet I watch Henry's videos and Killsboy's videos and everyone else, and they're discarding 50, 100 overalls a week for legend badges and everything else. So we're in two completely different places in the game. Is the game accessible for me? No. Cards are not accessible for me. Right. I had to grind 20 hours to get Rudy Gobert. But if you throw 300 quid at it this week, you're probably going to walk away with 7 cards that would make my lineup, just if you did 1 week. So it's the most accessible the game has ever been if you spend money. That's my opinion. You think before, you're just gambling up until now.
But I just think with adding... go ahead, JC.
Until 2 years ago, I could just spend $80 and buy any card I wanted. So
okay. But I think adding the KDs and Jokic's, and because they're spending money, and then they're spending enough money to get KD, Jokic, Kareem. There's levels. So even spending money, if you buy one half box every time they come out, you're gonna walk away with a good team, right?
But it's not even one anymore. A week ago it was one. Now they incentivize you to buy 3, and now everyone's buying 3.
But I'm just saying, in this hypothetical, since hot boxes came out, what was it, Black Friday they came out? If you were to put, 1 box per drop, that would have you would have a pretty solid team throughout the entire year. So accessible, yes, but certain cards are just out of almost everybody's reach.
Yeah. God, okay.
1 half box per drop's like 10K. That's so crazy.
It adds up fast. Like I said, people are doing 300 quid now without even blinking, I think, on the Invincible card now. There are reward cards in this game. Agree or no?
There is a domination reward card and there are playoff reward cards.
What about
and level 40?
What about the
I was gonna say, that's what I was gonna say. They're not labeled, reward cards, but Josh Giddey and Ben Wallace and Peja, those were reward cards. Those were obtainable through no money spent.
It's true.
So this is why I'm asking the question the way I'm asking it, is have they found that balance? I kind of feel that they have. To be honest, I'm not going to be able to compete with the best teams in the game without spending. But if I wanted to spend, I could. But my score is like, I'm happy with it. And it's, there's a lot of cards in there that aren't from the auction house.
I almost agree with you.
Okay.
But I think it needs, because I think your point is right. And it's even the point I was making earlier. Within a couple weeks, if you play the game in the right direction and you know what you're doing and you know what you're grinding for, that you can get a pretty good team without spending money. And that's what Jazz said. He's got 2 million MTs, been playing the game for 2 months and hasn't spent any money. He's got a decent squad. Like, that's his point, and I think it's a good point. My main issue is I am personally of the opinion that if I make a list of the 10 best cards at every position, and I mean the best, no matter what, just the best, 2 or 3 of them should be attainable without spending money, in my opinion. I think one of the 5 best cards at each position at any point in the game should probably be attainable for free or very close to for free. That is where we're not at right now, because if I go make top 10 lists for different positions, there might be one card on that list that is attainable for the majority of the community, potentially. Some of those positions, there's not going to be a single one. And that's, I think, the problem, is that you can build a good team, but it'd be nice to be able to get a little bit closer to the top teams, and we can't do that right now.
Mm-hmm. And I want to say, JC's completely right. And also, it should not take an event to get cards like the Giddies or the Pejas or anybody like that. It really shouldn't take these events, but yet here we are. I miss the grinds where we could go 12-0. I know that's rough, but you could actually get a Bob Nedalicki, excuse me, or cards like that, that are really
Gary
good.
Payton. Shout out Gary Payton.
Yeah. What happened to those grinds? I miss the actual grind of the game. That's what makes 2K fun, instead of these egregious events, man, where do require money. It just, it's kind of like, I don't want to use the word depressing, but it really is like hard on a lot of people that don't spend. And then you see all these, you need 33 pieces to lock in for Goat Ream, or was it 20 3 odd for a Bob Pettit, who was amazing, or 20 for, our test if you want them. It's just, there should be more of about, in my opinion, if that makes, but I mean, hey, at least we do have those cards in events, but we still do need those grindable event cards. This time around last year, or maybe a little bit before, we were grinding for what? The Glenn Rice piece, right? I mean, where's those grinds?
Well, Glenn, to be fair, everyone talks about Glenn Rice last year. It's true. He's like the best free card they've ever dropped in the history of my team. But he also was like the only card like that last year. Level 40 Shea in season 6 was also amazing. There might have been 1 or 2 other really good reward cards, but otherwise, there wasn't that much. I don't know. It wasn't like it was great when it came to mode reward cards last year. Most of them still weren't that good.
I mean, that grind was also pretty absurd.
It took a long time to get them, but it takes forever to do 200 showdown wins or 400 triple threat online wins or 500 offline wins in any of the modes right now too.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what it was, wasn't it? 400 TTO or 200 showdown for him last year.
It's like that. I think it took less because you needed 20,000 showdown points or whatever last year, whatever they called it, unlimited points.
Yeah,
I think 22 was the last year when game mode rewards were consistently good.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Probably.
So it's been 3 years.
The trophy case was kind of a weird one, but if you count that. But
yeah.
I think I really just miss game mode rewards because that's where they would always chuck the random players that like you would never see. And I feel like we kind of lost that to a certain extent. That's where those.
I feel like they come out as budget cards now.
Not really. I feel like all the budget cards this year. I don't know. I just have been unimpressed by like the roster of like past shitty NBA players they made good for no reason.
Vladimir Imonovic yesterday.
You're not rocking with Josh Childress?
I mean, yeah. This set yesterday was tight, but like, I don't know, man. How many Bruce Browns am I gonna get? Like, I don't want him.
To Lude's point, I was waiting for a Raja Bell card.
For real.
That card is so good, by the way.
Since season 1, Diamond Raja Bell in season 1 was a beast.
It was.
And I've been sitting here once a season, like, I think now is when we get Raja Bell. He's coming. Pink Diamond Raja Bell, nope. And then now we finally get one. ML card was a great card season 1, an amazing card season 1. Haven't seen one since.
Yeah, they are recycling a lot of the same cards for headliners, aren't they?
Yeah, they're recycling cards like crazy, and we haven't even seen like true legends that we like need to see in the game yet, which is like unfortunate in my opinion. Like, how many years have I been doing this podcast? 2K can't just throw me a bone. They can't throw me a bone and give me Greg Ostertag once. Jesus Christ, dude. How you want me to spend money? Do it. Do it. I'll spend money instantly.
How much would you spend realistically?
Depends on the level.
If it was invincible and he was in the event and it was
400
like 50 pieces.
400 at least.
That wouldn't get you.
At least I said.
You're looking at a couple of grand for that one.
I mean, like, Invincible Greg Ostertag in the event. Oh yeah, dude, I'm locking myself in the room. I'm taking every piece of PTO I have, and I'm getting that card. I've been asking for it for 4 years. I mean, they could just do me a solid and just give me one, like a creator code. That'd be cool.
I begged 2K to make him event.
I know you did, and they were just not having it.
Card he wants and make
they were not having it. They don't want to see my boy shine.
One other thing, when it comes to reward cards, there's a bit of a weird one at the moment because I see a lot of people asking for Spotlight when there are Spotlight. Am I missing something?
Spotlight's with a not guaranteed to be good reward though.
What do you mean?
And the playoff spotlights. That's what you're talking about, I assume. The playoff challenges they dropped right now. Those aren't guaranteed to have a great card at the end of them. There's no guarantee they're going to give us this amazing Invincible Shea Gilgeous-Alexander that's going to be the best card ever. Like, we don't know at this point that the reward is going to be good. And what if the Knicks were to somehow win the finals?
Now
we're getting Invincible Jalen Brunson.
I feel like with the Kobe spotlights, it was Cam Reddish and Rocco. It was cards like that really stood out. That's it for me. I remember them more than the headlines, if I'm being honest. There's so many good cards. Alex Crusoe, Rudy Gobert. I mean, I've got 2 cards in like S and A. Jonah McDaniels is unbelievable. Definitely worth the grind. OG's great. Siakam's great. Lou Dort is probably the best defensive card as a lock all year. They're really good.
But here's the question. How many of those guys are playing over cards that you can buy for 150K at their position? Not very many. 2? 1?
True.
They're not, as of right now, actually
have?
high level impact. The Taco spotlights in 21 for sure. The Bill Russell spotlights also for sure.
I think the 2 spotlights that were like...
Those were the 2 best ones ever, I think.
Yeah, those are the difficult ones.
The gauntlet one.
Well, the Taco spotlights are the best ones ever, but they were the hardest, that's for sure.
Do you want gauntlet spotlights?
To answer JC's question, I think there's a difference between, like, if I have 150K center right now, yeah, I'm not going to go grind for Gobert. But if I have Gobert, I'm not going to go buy 150k center. So some cards, if you have them, they're like, I don't have to replace them. They play fine for me. They make jumpers when they're open. They play fine enough defense. So why go spend the money if I already have the card? And then vice versa. If I already have the 150k card, I'm not going to grind all the time it takes to get Gobert.
Yeah, I'm going to offer a little bit of advice to people as well. I know a lot of people haven't even looked at the spotlights because they're like, oh, it's not even worth trying. You do not need to complete all the spotlights to get a dark matter. You just need to complete the teams that's relevant to that dark matter path. So you could maybe do like 6 of the pink diamonds and probably end up with a dark matter. I don't know what the maths is. You definitely don't need to do all of them. So if you just wanted to get Gobert, it's probably a few hours, not the 20 hours it takes to get all of them, which I did. Cool. One more? Anything else on that? Accessibility? Do you want reward cards back, I guess, is the question for game modes. Matt's definitely said yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they need to do it because they all year has been hidden gems, which I think a lot of people like that first, got played out really fast. Then premium packs. At no point have we gotten reward cards that we knew what we were getting for any game mode, for collections or anything.
The obvious answer, I guess, is both, but would you take that over the event?
Well, what's wrong with the happy medium and just have a little bit of both? You
Yeah,
feel
like
me?
I said,
You know what I'm
obvious
saying?
answers both, for sure. But if you had to choose, because they've replaced one with the other, haven't they? That's what they've done.
If you had to choose, I'd
Yeah.
rather have the rewards. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, and also to be fair, I guess, you know, not to side with 2K, but you can't please everybody as well. So that's really a tough, you know, I mean, I don't know.
I
look
like
at
the
the-
hidden gems. I just wish they would have like kept updating them. Would have been fine, in my opinion.
Did anybody get that Michael Jordan Dark Matter?
Nobody got that Michael Jordan.
Rarest card in the game.
Nobody got the Opal Shack either.
Bad.
Right. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Blaze and Rick. Let's maybe do this unanimously. Let's see if we can figure out a collective answer to a question. I don't think this ever happens.
No, not happening.
This podcast. Blaze and Ricks. If you could take 2 things away from this My Team and replace it with 2 things from previous My Teams, what would they be? So what we're getting rid of?
The escrow. I'm tired of it.
Agreed.
I'm
That's
on
a great
board with
answer.
that.
Great answer.
Nailed
God,
it.
it's so annoying. Yeah, literally so
One.
bad. I just want to pick up budget cards and do the challenges, and I gotta wait like 16 hours to do so.
Yeah.
So annoying.
I don't want to keep banging on about spending money, but this is also an advantage. My season starts 2 hours late.
Yep, literally. Why am I in escrow for a $4,000 pink diamond right now?
I load up at 4 o'clock and I'm like, yes, ready to go. Let me get the 7 cards to do the challenges. I'll just sit there waiting.
Makes
Whenever
no
you're
sense.
ready.
I mean, if it was a major card, then I get it. I see why they're doing it. You know what? Respect to them in that aspect. But no card you should not wait 30 minutes, 20 minutes, or even 10 minutes for a card or badge or shoe or anything. It's just redundant. And honestly, I hate to use the word stupid, but it really is dumb. It's to me. I hate to use that, but it's just why.
Yeah.
You know, you brought back the auction house, you know, to bring some type of enjoyment, you know, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I know that you have to stand on business, 2K, which I respect. You got to respect the TOS. With that being said, man, the escrow is not doing anybody any favors in 2K. If you want us to enjoy it, which I don't even know if you want us to enjoy it, but if you do, take that out, please.
Yeah.
Patrick
it's-
Patterson isn't going to wait 4 hours to play with himself. So why am I waiting 4 hours?
Yeah.
It's the same thing as the boosting bans, right? It's the same thing. It's a couple of percent of people doing something that's affecting everyone else. They're the only company that do that. We've got a problem with 1% of the community, so let's put something in the game that affects every single person who plays the game. No one else will do that. Just get rid of it. Figure out how to ban people when they buy MT.
All of EA's games have
Yeah.
figured out how to ban people for buying in-game currency. And sure, people might find loopholes and workarounds occasionally, but generally those eventually get shut down as well. And
Yeah.
they figure out ways to ban people without having you have to wait 30 minutes to use any card.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ludez is exaggerating when he says 4 hours, but the point still stands.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, but the point still stands that he's right. You shouldn't have to wait 30 minutes after you spent 4,000 MT on Patrick Patterson. There's just no need to wait 30 minutes to use that card. And a lot of people don't have time. That's the thing. I think a lot of us, both on this podcast and people who are watching, have at times a lot of free time, potentially. Maybe like we might have time to sit here and wait 30 minutes for the card and then get on. But some people have an hour, so they don't want to spend half the time that they have of their free time that night on the game waiting to use the one card they bought.
Man, it's so demotivating. Like, I'm on a Friday. I'm in DBG streams or whatever, and excited. I've seen all the cards. I'm like, yeah, can't wait to use this card. I just sit in. I just end up just leaving and coming back like a few hours later. Just go do something else. Like it literally gets me off the game. It's really not a good mechanic. What's the other thing? 2 things we're gonna get rid of. So escrow's gone. See you later. What's next?
I think if we got rid of the ban, people would enjoy the game a lot more.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Like
I
the
reckon.
quit bans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you run into I run into guys that are just better than me. all the time. You know, I'm not the type to quit within 3 minutes, but if it's halftime and I'm like, I don't got an answer for you, I'd rather just quit.
Right. I mean, that would be actual sportsmanship, like JC was talking about earlier. That's real sportsmanship. You know what I'm saying? By just conceding, hey, you got it. You just got it on this game. So yeah, they do need to take that out. But the escrow, going back to that needs to go. I'm sick of it. I'm sure everybody in here that's watching is sick of it as well. What's another thing though?
Can I just touch on the boosting really quickly?
Yeah.
There's no real advantage to it anymore as well. Just putting it out there. It's not like you're going 12 and 0.
You get like your showdown rewards
Yeah,
faster,
get
I
your
guess.
200 wins fast. That's about it.
You can boost to your bad 100 overall. You can boost your way to Anthony Davis or James Worthy. Congratulations, you did it.
Because it used to be for reward cards, right? That was the issue with it. Like you'd get Gary Payton or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's not the same anymore, is it? I guess there is still a reason. Is there anything else like game mode? Something like
Everything I keep thinking of is like gameplay related. So like as far as
Not
the
everybody's
actual,
going to agree on those things.
yeah, the
just
thing
get
I
rid
guess,
of the gameplay?
I mean,
Just as
Collector's
collecting now. Oh Lord.
What specifically would you get rid of on a gameplay? What's top of the list?
definitely the cards that shoot over top of other players. That's obnoxious.
Yeah.
Probably some of the fluky steals that happen in the backcourt come to mind. Players getting stuck on each other. I mean, I can go on for days, really. I would also go back to where there was more than one dribble style that was possible to actually get an animation out of. And even then, Garland isn't that good either. So I don't know. There's a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
The PNR system is so messed up.
Oh, it's
like the screens are so
every
bad.
possession, dude.
Jesus, man, it's like OOOP. It makes no freaking sense, man. Like I don't know, the screens are just too much. I mean, I've learned and still learning to dodge and get through those, man. But I mean, if you get stuck, if you get touched or bumped, it's GG's, bro. They're gonna cut around you, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is plenty horrible. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna give a really controversial one, which I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with. I think Ludez is about to go ham, actually. I'm not saying get rid of it entirely, but we need to tone down medium risk and low risk shooting. We gotta tone it down. I'm not kidding, guys. I'm not kidding. I've got the game recorded. I will clip it together and post it on Twitter later today or tomorrow. I played a game yesterday where a guy beat me and didn't green a shot.
I'm actually not going to go ham on this, surprisingly. I just play offline, dude, so I really don't care for the most part.
It's too much. The
I
rates
think
at which
the
whites are
reward
dropping is
system in
crazy.
general, I think, was a novel idea in principle, but they did not execute it as in all things that 2K does. So I think just going back to the way it was before would be the way to go. I mean, if they could implement it in a way where there actually was a risk reward system, but now it's just like cards are so good that there is no risk reward. It's actually foolish of you to even play on non-low risk, in my opinion, if you're like not great at the game.
Genuinely, after that game yesterday, I thought about it. I was like, is this just the move? Because everything this guy's shooting's going in. Lates, earlies, very late, very earlies. This is bonkers. Like bonkers.
And yeah, I think there should be somewhere in between normal and high risk, probably closer to high risk. Because even on high risk, you
I agree.
occasionally make a white. Every once in a while, you make a white on high risk.
With
I
stick,
think 2K really just has to pick a side. There's been years where you could only green. There's been years where you can make whites, and I think everybody agrees where just pick a side and make it the same for everybody.
You cannot have a game where someone mistimes a shot 5 times in a row and it goes in. You just can't.
I don't have a problem with them leaving it in the game for offline. I don't care.
Agreed. Yeah.
Leave it for
Well,
offline. It's like if somebody who's new to the game wants to come in the game and put it on lowers because they
Or
don't know
lose.
what they're doing.
Or lead.
Yeah.
Okay. Not no, I didn't say it. No, but if somebody wants to, like, specifically for that reason, like if somebody is, you shouldn't have to be great at the game to win offline. You should be able to get on the game and have fun even if you're not that good at it. But if you're playing online, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the way low risk was this year. Now, that being said, I don't know. I think it's at the mid level of showdown where it really becomes extremely like frustrating.
Yeah.
For a player who is good at the game, but not great at the game, and they lose to somebody who is noticeably worse than them because they have a bad shooting game and that person makes 12 whites.
Bro, you should see my face when someone loads up with 5 invincibles and playing on low risk. What are you doing?
I'm there too, honestly. I feel you 100%.
Bro literally went, I ain't gonna learn this game, I'm just gonna get the card. They're gonna do it for me. And it worked.
Yeah.
It works. It just works. Cool. Things we're going to add in from previous year. I'm going to take Clutch Time TTO Co-op off the table because we discussed it already. I'm going to give a suggestion. Can we get 2K22 dribbling back or a continuation of that? In the same vein, pro play can go and that can be replaced. An actual fun game to play.
Can we bring back the Spotlight Sim packs from 2K20?
Well, those exact packs.
Those exact packs where the community would literally pick players and like show their stat lines, and then 2K would put them in the game. Yes, can we put that? That was fucking sick.
I'm down.
We should do that again. Why are we not doing that? Like, no other year would somebody be like, "Look at how well I did with this Sapphire Kelly Trapuka," and then we would just get Noble. Like, that was so sick. Can we just bring that back, please? It'll bring community aspects to it. See, even the categories.
Yeah, because on the My Career side, they do like creator builds.
Yeah.
So they do involve the community in a sense. So I don't see why they can't do something like that on the My Team side, even if it's not creators. Because what was it? You have to send a screenshot of like your stat line, right? With a certain card.
You just tweet it, I think is what it was.
And then they picked a couple to act. Yeah, I don't see why they couldn't do something like that.
Bro, can you imagine if they let like creators build cards?
See, I was about to hit on that. We need the community.
There wouldn't be
codes.
very many allowed to do that. So
yeah.
Well, all you have to do to get that back is just start a worldwide virus that shuts the country down, which leads to the NBA shutting down. And then I think you might get your.
I'll contact Rudy Gobert.
Yeah. I was gonna say the last time they did that, we got probably the best set we've had almost ever, right? What was it? The
NBA's back. Are you thinking before?
No. The 2K23 with the Bob Nedlecki.
The throwback. There's the one that
splash forward.
Yeah. So I'm saying we probably got one of the best sets we've ever had last time we let somebody do that. So
I would love to see them just pick. Who do you think would have the worst card? Lutz?
It would be Greg Ostertag. So yes, absolutely. For sure.
What's the six? What's the jumper?
I'm not even gonna. I don't even know what's good this year, so I have no idea. Just
you should give him 25 speed just for kick.
No, absolutely not. He needs to have at least an 80, like in real life.
That's interesting.
I think that'd be fun if you kept it to like actually like, hey, pick your favorite player. Don't just pick a Wemby because you want to see a Wemby be made.
I would go Larry Johnson. I'll just make a cracked like point guard Larry Johnson. That'll be sick. Anything else from previous years we'd want to bring back?
Moments of the week. They never will. But I liked Moments of the Week a lot. 2K20. Was it 2K20? I think it was 2K20, right? Before COVID, but Moments of the Week was probably my favorite Moments concept they ever did, because every Wednesday we were getting a set of like 13 cards of guys who performed that week, and there were budget guys, and there was that top tier card or whatever. And 2K, they've used that lock-in concept forever. I don't have a problem with something like that being in the game. That's fine. Yeah. Whatever. But like, there'd be, I mean, it happens every single night throughout the NBA season. Like, come on, Quentin Grimes was absolutely dominating. Who wouldn't have wanted a Galaxy Opal Quentin Grimes when he was absolutely destroying for the Sixers, had like 46 and scored 40 like 3 times in a couple weeks? Like, why not get a super good card of him? Like, I just think there's so much opportunity in Moments cards that I've talked about it so many times, and they'll never really do anything with it. But
there's
so much missed
opportunity there. The NBA is tenuous.
You have a good point too, because they've kind of transitioned the Moments thing and just put those guys as like the budget cards in like season 5 and 6, and I was just like, it's not Moments, so like I don't really like it as much, you know?
Yeah, agreed. Anything else you want to bring back? I've got a couple more for you guys.
I got one. It's going to open up a huge can of you know what.
Oh no.
Yes, I'm getting into it. I can't believe I'm saying this too, because I'm not an advocate of it, but they should definitely bring back an affordable player market.
Oh my God.
And I'm saying that out of all the people, because you know I don't stand on that. My God.
You know what? If they did the player market exactly the way they did it before the All-Star break last year, I am a firm believer that if last year had continued the way it was pre-player market, the gameplay sucked, but the content would have been the best of any Myteam ever.
Yeah.
With a player market the way it was pre-All-Star break, post-All-Star break as well.
When Ream came out, it was GG's for everybody, man. And we all expected to, you know, possibly even have a chance to get that. No dice. You know, they set us up, and I knew it and I called it. But JC, you're right, man. If they did that, it would be a vibe. I mean, I can't. If it was similar to like MLB,
they wouldn't have made any money though. That's the thing. No, you could literally no money spent your way to the best cards in the game before the player market, before the All-Star break, just by playing the game. That's the thing. Everybody hates 2K24 so much. I get it, and I didn't like the gameplay of 24 anyways before the player market stuff happened personally. But the content was awesome. Like the amount of people, and even without the Paul George glitch helped significantly, of course, but the content itself, I mean, I was making hundreds of thousands of MT a week just playing the game, playing Showdown, because you made so much more MT from playing the game last year, and then they decided to make MT useless.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, well, I don't know. It's the reason they did that is because people weren't spending money.
it's true. And that's
I'm trying to think. Well, the VC only got me off the game, right? So would I have carried on playing if the player market had even stayed the way it was? Probably is the answer.
For people who played the game a lot, they got rewarded so much just for the amount of MT you made playing the game that, like,
I just
you
don't
could
trust it.
have
I could
best
never
cards.
trust it. The
No, of course
irony
not.
about this is Matt is the guy who said this was going to be a shit show,
Mhm.
and he was right. And
I was.
now I'm
Do
at
you
a point
remember
where I
our
would never
overly
trust it again.
optimistic first podcast where we're like, this is gonna
I got
work?
Devin Booker for free. I was gassed. It just went downhill from there.
It was good for a while.
It was, yeah.
I mean, I had the best team in the game all the way throughout the All-Star break, and I probably spent $150 all year besides the game, which, I mean, could you imagine?
Yeah, I
Man.
spent £36 this year.
Nah, it's just like this year to have the best team in the game.
Oh yeah,
6 months in,
36
people
grand.
would have had to spend. Yeah, I mean, at 6 months in through this game, they would have had to spend 10 grand, and since then to keep up, it'd be another 20 probably.
We really got to address like the proverbial elephant in the room is, you know, I know we've talked about spending earlier, but man, when are we actually going to get fair odds? When are we? And goes for Park as well.
Never.
Get fair
Never.
BC prices.
Never.
you know
Of
what I'm
course
saying?
not.
When?
They made
Never.
42% profit,
Yeah.
bro.
Right,
Right,
it's gonna get worse.
Right. You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
I mean, you could argue the odds are better in the sense that you've already got something guaranteed out of every hot, right? So based on previous years where you were purely gambling, would you not consider the odds better this year because you are guaranteed like 100 overall or 100 overall topper? Does that not de facto make the odds better or no?
Does, but it's all unauctionable.
Yeah, in 2K23, I could buy whatever card I
Yeah.
wanted for $50 on auctionable.
I mean, you're still getting the card though, aren't you?
The regular pack odds are a little bit better now, but you still have a 2.2% chance of pulling a Dark Matter. This is better odds.
But you got
And you still
guaranteed
have a
topper as well.
2.2% chance for $100. Yeah, I got a guaranteed 100 overall topper. That's probably Steve Nash and probably worth 100 some odd K. Like,
This is also true.
I literally loaded up the game day one this year. I load up the game and I see diamond odds are like, I think they were 1.8% for diamond odds on day one of the game. And some of the diamonds sucked day one of the game. Like there was a Kevin Duckworth and a couple other like bad cards. And I was like, oh, this is bad. This is really, really bad. I could just tell immediately the pack odds were going to be awful all year. They've been horrible. And I don't think they're going to get better next year.
This might be
This
a
is the worst
controversial
pack
take.
odds have ever been probably at that point, I think.
I think pack odds need to be addressed less than the pack weight because the pack weight is an absolute joke. I literally call 99 packs Jalen Brunson pack. Like just make them equal chance or closer. Like I watch videos every week of people opening packs of Devin Booker, Chris Webber, Devin Booker, Chris Webber. I haven't got either of them. Still waiting for my first 100 overall to get Tatum. But yeah, the pack weight is surely the biggest issue because there must be people just ripping off packs every week, just getting the same cards and discarding. No, I don't know. I don't know if packs tell me. Like, is that what's happening?
I myself have gotten 4 Jailsons, and I don't.
The pack weight is a joke. It's affecting everyone as well, not just money spent. It's no money spent as well. Like,
I pulled 3 Webbers, bro. 2 Bookers.
it's a joke.
Brunson, Jesus Christ.
Who's obsessed with Brunson? What is the obsession with?
Well, Josh, but he's not here.
He's gassed every
Yeah.
time he pulls Brunson, isn't he? Just every
He
time. What's up? Josh is gassed. Yeah. Okay. I think we're done on that. This is a lighter question. Who's been your most consistent player that you enjoy using after year? That's from SportsGeek08. Who's your go-to player every year? Who's the player you've used most consistently, I would say, since 2K20?
Start because mine's easy. Cade, my favorite player in the
Yeah.
league, and he's also a demon every time he gets a good card, so it works out pretty well. That's simple for me. He's always in my lineup.
Yeah.
I would say Dikembe, man. Like weirdly, I don't know. I just always end up with Dikembe Mutombo, and he's always like relatively solid. So probably him if we're doing year over year, especially because like my favorite players are either not in the game or the most expensive card in the game, like Tracy McGrady. So
Yeah.
probably Dikembe because I always end up getting a glitch Dikembe at some point, and he's always pretty good.
Who else?
I think the Dikembe shot's actually a really good one because I
Yeah.
think we've had 4 different years at least that I can think of that we either had an amazing Dikembe early in the game or an amazing Dikembe at the end of the game. I mean, there's been 3 amazing Dark Matter Dikembes over the last
the diamond
4
was it
years
the
of my
diamond
team.
glitch Dikembe was,
And the other year
fire.
had the diamond glitch Dikembe at the beginning of the year. So yeah, there's been a lot of good Dikembes, but mine is D-Rob. I love D-Rob cards. I've always loved D-Rob cards since 2K19, 2K20. And I mean, every single time he gets a card early in the year, I know he's going to be the best center in the game. And he's going to be my favorite big. Like, I've loved his cards.
He's always been
forever.
like reasonably accessible as well, I feel, D-Rob. Like, he was level 40 one year, right? Like, the Dark Matter is one of the cheaper Dark Matters now.
Right.
Like, he's just never... I think the pink diamond, was it in 23? Early, that was quite expensive. But
Yeah,
generally,
that was super expensive.
But
people
then
were
he had
batting
like
that thing to the
opal.
moon.
What was it? The fireworks one. He had like an opal or dark matter.
Yeah.
And that one, everybody thought he was gonna be the chase card in the set, and he actually ended up not being that expensive. I think.
yeah.
I think that D-Rob in 23 was only expensive though because it was the NBA 75 one, right? So you could put every badge on it.
Yeah, he came out
Yeah, that was
super
the
early
issue.
as well.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Who you got, Matt? Go to
Mine
card of
is, man, mine budget. Is it a budget card or just card?
any card. Any
Oh,
player is the question, I guess.
2K 2021, I gotta say Kawhi Leonard, man.
Yeah.
Ever since that level 40 Kawhi, that free Kawhi that we got, man, he's just been my go-to. He's been my constant. You know,
I
whenever
don't think he's
need
ever had a bad card.
No, he's a great card, and he looks like just like he's like 7 foot out there, bro. He's just a big dude, and he's a fun guy.
Yeah, he fills the court, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a fun guy. No, for real, Kawhi, man, he gets you those buckets, and he plays amazing defense. I mean, a true 3-and-D for real.
I know who GamingDad's answer is, I think. Shaq, right?
No. This
No.
is actually the first year. Oh, so mine skewed a little bit. I didn't really play my team till 23.
Right.
But this is the first year I've actually had a Shaq card I enjoyed using. And I'm a Laker
That's
fan.
fair, actually.
And I'm a Laker fan.
Yeah.
Mine is Dr. J because I got the Dark Matter relatively quick in the trophy case. I got that card relatively quick, badged them up early, used them all year. 24, I think it was a pink diamond that came out in 24 that was relatively good. And then you got the Dark Matter, then the GOAT. And then this year, Dr. J has been the best guard, not card, in the game for the majority of the year.
You missed out on 22 because we got an invincible dark.
I didn't
Invincible
play
at the end of the
22.
year. Is it a token
Yeah.
market? I swear it was in the token market. Invincible Dr. J.
It was
Remember 22?
accessible because I had it.
Yeah. It was
So-
awesome, awesome card. I would say T-Mac, right? Because that's the card I enjoy using the most every year. But this year I have not been able to get out of a T-Mac. So it's probably like, not intentionally, but yeah, it's probably D-Rob. That's exactly what I was thinking. It just seemed to get a good D-Rob, and he seems to run. I've got D-Rob on my team now to run most of the year.
We just
Cool.
built a great lineup: Cade, Dr. J, Kawhi, D-Rob, and Dikembe.
we're cooking.
That's a good my
Yeah.
team lineup, no matter what year. So
Yeah, we've done it right. Last thing, 2 things. Should we talk about Carlo? Do you want to talk about Carlo?
I've been so out of the loop on this. I need some
I
more
don't.
updates, dude.
If you want to open up
I'm
that
good.
can of worms, we can open that can of worms.
I've got something I want to say. And then if you guys want to run with it, you can run with it. Over the last 4 weeks, we've had a lot of dramas in the Myteam community. If you want to find out what they are, check out JC GamingDad's channels. They tend to cover them pretty extensively. But every single
Like,
one of them,
actual drama or what?
every single one of them has involved Carlo.
Awesome.
In some way, shape, or form. This is going somewhere. So first of all, he was kind of the voice and tried to get grabbed and Primetime KG banned from King of the Court. You could argue he was right. Targeted Ty for asking someone to quit. Right. Controversy about him sniping Wemby and not recording it despite recording 99% of everything he does. Most recently targeting JC for being given an account and question marks around it. And then additionally, this is just to clear my kind of name in the Carlo drama. I put up a tweet saying, a generic tweet I would describe it as, saying that if you have cards like Invincible Wemby and Invincible LeBron, you're going to struggle to get too excited for the rest of the year, right? Because you've already reached pretty much the peak of the power curve. And I think I said something along the lines of you're only going to see incrementally better cards from here on out, right? Where someone like me, who's got a long way to go, doesn't have any Invincibles and has 200 overalls, you know, I'm still probably going to be quite excited by pulls for the rest of the year. Fair statement. Everyone agree? Like,
Yeah.
generally?
100%.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
Carlo,
once you get Wemby, it's all downhill from there. Like, how much better can you really get? Like,
Carlo
there's no
decided
better
this
player
tweet was
builds.
about him.
Well, I think Carlo thinks
Okay.
anytime anybody mentions Wemby, he assumes it's about him. He's the only person that has Wemby.
Well, he retweeted me going, if this is about me, something, I don't know, something. And then someone told me that he'd also followed this up in a video after me saying to him, I don't know your squad. I don't know his squad. I know he's got Wemby. Could not tell you another player that Carlo has on his team. Could be running diamonds for all I know. He then followed it up in a video saying, Jazz was definitely talking about me. I wasn't. I just, that's pretty much all I've got to say. wasn't talking about you or anyone else. But I stand by what I said. You know, if you've got the.
We were
the
talking
best
about a specific side of like the Twitter 2K hive mind that just rages on pack releases once they have the best card in the game that's going to be good forever, essentially.
Yeah, I was also kind of more talking from my perspective because I like the way I'm playing the game. I'm enjoying it because I do get incremental kind of, which is keeping me on the game. You know,
You
I
do
ground
need
to level
that
40.
to
Yeah.
like really keep going. Like at this
Yeah.
point, if I had Wemby, I wouldn't even load the game up because like, what am I going to be doing on this game that's going to make my team better at that point?
Yeah, like I like grinding to level 40. Like I completed the spotlights. Like these are little things like, you know, getting the streak in showdown, whatever. I like to do things where there's a sense of achievement. That's just me as a person. I want to achieve something, not take a shortcut to something. If you want to do the other, that's fine. But it's also a fact. And I'm also speaking from experience because I've been that guy in previous years. You know, in May, I've got the best team in the game and it kind of fizzles. It's hard to get excited after that. You just kind of look at every pack drop and go, it's kind of similar to what I already have. It's hard to get excited. But yeah, JC, just thoughts on your account and accusations?
I don't know. I don't have a lot to say, to be honest. I mean, here's the honest truth. I'll just be very, very direct and honest. The reason I haven't really responded to Carlos because I don't feel like feeding him more views. That's all he's looking for is views. He's willing to embarrass himself consistently on the internet because people will watch him do it, and I just don't want to feed into it.
I don't understand he's exactly though. Like what?
Very simple. I was given an account. A guy reached out to me last week, and basically, very well off guy reached out to me. Basically, said he's going to be traveling abroad for the rest of the year. He's not playing the game anymore. He's enjoyed my videos. And if I want his account, I can have it.
I guess I'm just confused because I used to just give my account to like whatever creator asked. I don't give a fuck. So
right. Well, yeah, but apparently it's a big deal. It's not a big deal for most people. For people who are chronically online, apparently it is a big deal. I really don't know. But Carlo he made literally like 3 videos on it. His whole title, his stream title was something about JC is my son and he's scared to wager me. I wagered Carlo earlier this year and beat him by 24 and 28.
I guess I just don't understand because
I don't feel like giving him attention.
And 2K21, or at least the end of 2K20 and like 2K21, I actually had really good pack luck for some reason. 2K nerfed that probably because I'm a dick to them, I would guess. But I don't know, like half is an obvious exaggeration, but like 20% I would say of like DBG and Ty's gameplay videos were on my account at one point. Yeah. So like, why does it matter? No one cared.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
Yeah.
Right, just following on for this, it's kind of the last topic. Just want to talk about the community a little bit and what our thoughts are on where the community is at right now. Just my thoughts. It's not fun anymore. I don't know.
Have one?
Yeah, man.
Oh.
If we go back, you know, memes were kind of the theme of the day, right? Dunktober, Jokic, levels, Oster tag, you know, I
don't think anybody jumped on that trend, but I appreciate you shouting it out.
We just used to have a bit more fun about everything. And obviously I get quite a bit of engagement on Twitter. And I'll be honest, before I post anything, I kind of take a breath and I'm like, I know what's coming. You know, like last week, this is the best example. Last week I posted something like, you know, I hope I don't run into someone who takes the game too seriously. And the guy's username is 2K is my life, right? That's a joke, right? That's me going, you know, I want to chill. And I've run into a guy whose username 2K is my life. Every comment, I would beat this team. Oh, he's probably not very good. Oh my God, it's so boring. Like, can we just have a fucking sense of humor? What happened? Why is everything about wins and losses and I'm so good at this and I'm so good at that and look how good this card I spent half my rent on is? Like, it's just so boring. What happened to the fun? What happened to like meme cards, budget cards, you know, all of this stuff? It's just so serious now. Am I the only one who feels like this? I don't know. Maybe I am.
No,
so
I agree.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I'll be quick here. I agree, Jazz. I don't know if you guys remember when I used to, like, every time a pack drop would come, I would go on Twitter and I would just, like, post a card and then put a bunch of, I don't know if I want to say fun facts about the player in question, but, like, facts about maybe their criminal history or things that they've done.
You ran a criminal squad in a charity tournament.
Those were fun crimes, though, dude. I kept it light. I did forget about that.
Fun crimes.
Those were fun crimes, dude. Like, you know, like Zach Randolph.
Hey, not all of them were fun. No.
Wait, did I run? Oh, yeah, you're right. That's because he was good. I had to have one good player on the team. That's not my fault. Anyways, but like I stopped doing that because like I just kept, like you said, getting responses like, well, this card's not even going to make my team. I'm like, I don't really think me talking about how he got arrested for shooting dice outside of the stadium really influences your team. I don't think this is for you, dog.
Yeah, but what
Like,
limit? That's what we care about.
yeah, that's basically what it was. And I'm like, dude, I don't think the Ruby card that I'm talking about, how he got arrested for bringing weed to the airport, is really helping your team out. This is not for you.
Yeah, go on, GamingDad. What were you gonna say?
I feel like the community as a whole is in a pretty shit place. If you go into individual streams, there's definitely communities, little sub communities with inside jokes, with memes. Like, with my little group, we have, anytime I go on anybody's stream, whether it be Ant Live, No Return MG, I don't know what it is, because Josh, I promise, Josh2K is not bad at the game. But if he comes in any of those streams, it's the immediate response is Josh is fucking ass. Josh, leave. You suck. Stop playing co-op.
Did you say that's not true?
No, Josh is pretty good. Not better than me, but he's pretty good.
Is he still opening packs on 2KDB?
Oh yeah, all the time. That's why he gets his rocks off. But but yeah, I mean, there's like ongoing jokes that we have within the smaller communities.
Yeah.
Which I don't catch too many of JC's streams. I'm sure it's the same way. There's probably, memes within your stream. But as a whole, like a Twitter community, there's not much going on at all.
What was the last thing you guys would say that was fun that happened in the community as a whole?
I would say your tournament you ran was really fun, and that's why I tried to duplicate that this year to try and revive things.
That was 2.5 years ago, by the way, I think. So I remember that. That's the last thing I remember being fun. So I tried to do it again this year, and it became like this. It wasn't, my goal was to make it fun, but I ended up just getting a bunch of sweats come and play, which was still cool. Yeah, there's definitely people try it. There's definitely
you can't really do a tournament if it's not that's not going to turn into that, though, to be totally honest. If you don't specifically invite people, I think intentionally, just because it's just going to turn into a sweatfest, because that's how people are. I mean, speaking from the competitive aspect, there are people in that tournament, in the comp community, who are just looking for any tournament to try to just squeeze every little dollar or VC they can out of it. Like that's just going to happen unless you do specific invite only type stuff.
Yeah, and I mean that's just life. Anything turns into that. Like, you go to a bowling alley, there's going to be someone there that's trying to bowl a 300. You go to disc golf, there's going to be someone there trying to, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what it is in life, someone's going to try and sweat it. That's just life. So
I think the charity tournament was the exception, though. Is that
I don't
fair?
remember anyone sweating specifically.
Well, I mean, to be
remember
fair,
Splash and
it was a
Nike
charity
running,
event, so there was like no money involved. I mean, no money to be won.
Okay, I mean, I tried my butt off to win that thing.
Oh yeah, you were the only one sweating. Yeah, I remember.
Well, no, I did.
Actually, you and Jacob.
I tried reasonably hard.
I did use Michael Red against DFS and score like 55 points with Michael Red.
That
was DFS's favorite card.
Do you know the drastic height he came down from? Like when you did that, he just beat Ty.
I kind of felt bad, honestly.
Right him over with one shot.
I read his favorite card against him, so
things go crazy. Should we do it again?
Why not?
I'm game.
Would you guys play in it?
I'll play.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be fun? Do you think it'd be as fun now as it was back then?
I would just do 16, probably 8 each console would be my thought. Or
We
actually,
got
it's
crossplay
cross-platform now, so
yeah. So we could
maybe
do
just
one
16 people. If you are very intentional on the people that do it, I think it could be a lot of fun. Yes.
Criminal Squad's coming back for sure.
The one thing that defines that tournament for me is Splash and Nike running like Warrior and Cavs theme teams. That was the last time Splash would run a theme team, I assume, 2.5 years ago.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, let me know. Let us know down below if you want the Team tourney to come back. I will do it.
I'll even unretire for that, man. I'll get blown out game 1, but whatever. Actually, put me against Josh real quick.
I would fix the matchups this year for sure. JC's running into Ty first game for sure.
That's fine.
Matt,
that's gonna give you all entertainment first round, because we're both gonna try.
Yeah, Matt can have Splash. I think that's fair.
Give me Josh first round. Let me get revenge for my Pistons getting beat by the Knicks.
Splash, you watching this? Hey, let's go. One time for the one.
He's on in a couple of weeks. He's on in a couple of weeks. You can call him out face to face.
I don't need to call him, man. Look. He listen, Splash, man. Listen, one of the best of the best of the best. You can put me against him though. I know I'm gonna learn some. Huh?
Yeah, I would have Josh against GamingDad to compete for best co-host. I think that's fair.
I like how 3 of us wanted to play Josh.
Everyone just wants to pop Josh. Should I play in it as well?
Yeah,
might as well.
Yeah, I'll get some commentators this one. All right, cool.
Hey, I'll play Josh under one condition. I run the Knicks theme team. He runs the Lakers theme team.
He would never.
He would never do that. No way.
And he would also never grind for actual Knicks players, so he'd just be running gold. He's got the weirdest approach to this game I've ever seen. Like, he wants to run a theme team, but doesn't want to put in any effort to get the players. Cool. Last thing, community scores. Should we go through this? Just tell me whether you think your score is higher or lower, right? This is 2K25 versus 2K20, I guess. I put up a post on Twitter where I got the community to rank things out of 10. Sorry, 5 things out of 10. And these were the scores that they gave. So on content, they gave it a 6 out of 10. You think it's too high, too low?
I think it's too high.
It's high.
I would go high as well. Yeah.
What's the reason?
Just outside they be events, I feel like content has been very, very, very mid. And to me, mid is 5. So I mean, lower than 6.
Yeah, but
generally
it's been dry. I'm sorry, Jason.
No, you're good. There's generally 1 or 2 interesting, good budget-esque, attainable, whatever cards on a weekly basis that might make people's team. Sometimes there's good, like that actually does. Like this last week was actually good. There were a couple of really high impact good cards, but for the most part, it's kind of mostly drops of like, I might like this one guy. But for the most part, there's just not a lot of excitement around it anymore. And the top tier cards are just realistic. Again, we've talked about the whole podcast. They're just not attainable. They drop, like, let's say you're a huge Tracy McGrady fan. You're probably not getting the card that dropped yesterday. I mean, Jazz's favorite player to use in 2K is T-Mac. He doesn't have the 100 overall, let alone the Invincible they dropped yesterday. You know what I mean? Like,
there is a section called accessibility, which I think is more in line with that.
Okay, fair enough. But content.
I guess content is like pace.
I'll give it a 4 out of 10, personally.
Yeah. Okay. I would agree with a 6. Just my personal take. I feel like there's been continuously, you get dead periods, right? And I think last month was the worst for a while. We kind of had the dead period at the end of season 6, which was super pack season. Then first week there was nothing, and then the event dropped. It was a bit underwhelming. So I think if they miss on a content drop, it can feel really dead for like 2 weeks. But I think more often than not, they've kind of hit. Like a lot of the drops have kind of had cards, a card for it somewhat. That's the way I'd look at it, right? Or a card for anyone. The events as well, you know, the budget cards have been pretty good. The definition of content for me is I've not really felt many times like there's not something to do, right? Whether it's doing showdown or whatever, getting the event pieces and, you know, doing the grinds out for that. And then when that's done, I can jump onto the spotlights and tick through that and work my way towards Crusoe and go there and whatever. And then suddenly another event's dropped. Don't think it's been bad. And I think the budget cards in particular, recently anyway, have been really fun. I think it kind of started with Caspi and, you know, like we spoke about Klingon and you know, there's been quite a few. By the way, PJ Tucker, I don't know if anyone's used that card, is arguably the best offline card to use this year. I don't know why no one's talking about him. Every budget, JC, this is for you. Right. Every budget tier list I see and not seeing that card on the list, it makes me die a little inside. Please use the card. You know the center shooting guard?
Yeah, he's the out of position card. His jumper's amazing. Yes,
so good.
He's got an incredible shot. He does.
It's so good. Yeah, but so give him some respect. Yeah, I think it's about right. But general consensus is we think that's too high. Yeah,
it is 6. Too high. It's way too high, especially when you see that 2K will put more thought in a mobile game and throw a spotlight in there and won't throw any spotlights in the actual consoles. Come on, now. I mean, let's be real. Yeah, besides the events, and which I don't even consider events content, what actually do we have? I mean, we really don't have too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd say the only piece of like actual content we've gotten besides the events that I actually enjoyed was the NBA playoff rewind. The spotlight, I think, is a good step also. The pink diamonds weren't good. The opals were relatively good. The dark matters were really good. But the NBA flashback rewind was something that, you know, even though Bob Danger's shot is atrocious, you know, it took moments from playoff history. You had to do those moments and you got a somewhat decent reward. I think that was great content. Besides that, I haven't really got anything like that.
I think the rewards were trash, but when they did that NBA is back thing, you just had to accumulate stats players. That was cool. If the rewards,
all right, let's move on to game modes. So game modes, because
anyone can do that. That's just why.
I agree. Game modes, they gave a 3.
I like Breakout 2, 1 maybe. Other than that, I haven't played really anything, and that's just because I haven't wanted.
Fair.
What game mode have they dropped that is more rewarding than previous iterations of that mode?
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single one. Therefore, it has to be a 1, right? Because I don't know. I think even 3 might be a little generous. Is there a single game mode in this game that is a better game mode than previous iterations of that game mode or
Salary
similar
cap,
styles
maybe?
of game mode? Maybe. But Salary Cap had specific reward players last year. Like there was a Dikembe Mutombo in Salary Cap last year who was incredible. That was an amazing reward card. There was a couple cards like that last year towards the end of the year and stuff. And I mean, maybe that's the closest one, but even that's a maybe.
So are we talking like the game mode itself or the reward?
I feel like the game mode is based on the rewards, right? Not
because I thought we were talking exclusively about the game modes. I was gonna say 3 is really low. I'd say, you know, obviously not high because they got rid of clutch time. If we're including the rewards also, then yeah, I'd probably say 3's about accurate.
I think it's fair. I think it's a fair
2.
score. Yeah, I think it's a ballpark. Yeah, I think 3 is pretty close. Showdown isn't fun to play. I don't enjoy Park because of the lag. I miss co-op. I miss TTO. I miss clutch time. The game modes have got worse in the last couple of years. Yeah, but I also don't think it. I don't think it's a 1. I think salary cap in itself is like worth a 2 on its own.
Salary's cool.
That's
Let me hit on
fair.
something real quick, Jazz. Let me hit on something. KOTC, by the way, which is today, flawed as hell. It's flawed. They need to fix that. I mean, the way the system is just so bad. The way the reward system is also is horrible. So
Yeah, is that live now?
Yeah, it's live right now.
Yeah.
Wait, is
Yeah,
it?
it's
Yep.
yeah,
I
I'm
haven't paid
playing it right
attention
now.
to that
You
at
played it.
all this year.
I played it
What's
right
the
now.
incentive to play that exactly?
Event
If you're not, you know, Thai Splash or E-bands, not
Well, I mean,
much.
for them, like, what's the incentive to play it for them?
Oh, a
Just to
million
do something?
VC for the
which
Oh,
they
win.
really?
probably spent more on VC
Yeah,
to get the
to
squad
even get to that point. Yeah. So what's the incentive exactly? I would give that game mode a 1.
I don't
Well, I
know.
mean,
Like,
the only person that game mode truly benefits is Ty
Yeah.
because he's doing it on a no money spin account. No,
Yeah.
so and he's winning. so
Yeah.
when he plays, he comes close to winning. So it benefits him. That's about it.
I guess, to be fair, I mean, clout still means something, doesn't it? Like being known as the best player on the game for a week. I still think it has meaning. I don't
What
know.
is it?
Yeah.
What does it do?
I don't know. I mean, it's a sense of pride, isn't it? It's like, I don't know.
I
It's
don't
like
know
a
if clout
charity
does
tournament.
anything for anybody at this point, though. To be honest,
And if
When
it
it comes
wasn't
to
like
2K.
if it wasn't such a mess, if everybody who was winning it was legitimately winning it every week, sure.
Yeah.
But it's such a mess going on over there of people asking people to quit and people, you know, boosting and all kinds of stuff going on. At this point, it's kind of like
My view of it is it's just like a 250K qualifier, but like every week, right? Like that's kind of the general consensus of
Yeah.
it, or
pretty much with no
But you don't
real
qualify
payoff.
for
If
anything.
you don't
Okay.
win, you don't get anything good. That's the thing. If you get second place, you don't get anything good.
And the window is a problem. The fact that
Okay,
it's like
yeah,
4
then I
hours.
would say this is like a straight up 0. Then this sucks.
It's a negative 4. It's the worst mode they've ever added.
Yeah, this sounds awful. Why did they do this? Who is this for?
And it could be amazing too. That's the thing. But
yeah,
Yeah,
if
they
they had
just
like
need-
a
They tried to copy Weekend League and copied it and made it worse.
yeah,
they didn't
but, like,
really
in
try to
Weekend
copy
League,
it.
there's like a lot of reason to play that though, from what I understand, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And you have the whole weekend to do it.
and you
Right.
get things if you don't win. So
Yes.
like,
Jacob, what's your thoughts on the game mode?
Honestly, I don't really think too hard about them at this point. KOTC could be changed a lot. Showdown is fine, I guess. I don't know. It's tough because everything that I've wanted for out of game modes is just not going to happen because we've been asking for a lot of it
Yeah.
for half a dozen years and we haven't got it. So like they're just going to do what they're going to do. I guess if there's one silver lining, I do like that Showdown is 4-minute quarters now compared to 5, what it used to
Yeah.
always be.
We were
That's
asking
maybe-
for that for years.
There's a silver lining if I had something positive, and salary cap's a fine mode for what it is too. Outside of that, though, I mean, I don't think too hard about it.
Cool. All right. Gameplay, they gave a 6.
That one's high. I don't know about
That's
that.
extremely high.
I don't know. Okay, like let me ask you, because like I said, I don't take this game serious. I just play like casually while I'm all blasted and stuff. Does rhythm shooting do anything at this
Yeah.
point? Like,
Yeah.
it does?
It
Okay, 'cause
definitely.
I
Like,
use
if you
it.
want to be, yeah, rhythm shooting is definitely like the way to go if you want to shoot better for sure. I mean,
Okay.
everybody who's like sweating is definitely rhythm shooting every shot. But like that's just kind of what you have to do now.
Although in
Okay.
saying that, I haven't tested the button since the power curve, so I don't know. Maybe. Has anyone
JC,
played on
do
button
you-
recently?
I mean, sometimes I shoot with the button just for the
Right.
heck of it. And I mean, it's pretty bad. Like
Right.
The button's usable-ish, but the stick is better.
Yeah.
100%.
I prefer it as well. It just feels more natural now.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think the dribbling is the worst it's ever been. 100%. like
It's
Jacob
so
was mentioning
bad.
Earlier.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
worst
So
dribbling
bad.
system.
it's just so
ever
obvious
had
that
by
they've
far.
like intentionally tried to make it like as least glitchy looking as possible, but all that
Yes.
has turned into is like only a couple things working. So like it's just not in a good spot at all. I know that there's probably some people out there, maybe people who like the more realistic side of things that think it's great, but like I just think that it wasn't the way that it was before, where yes, your top dribblers could really make it look like some arcadey game was fine because such a small percent of people could actually dribble like that anyways, but it created like creativity within the dribbling and now it's really not there. It's like, okay, you can do a snatchback, you can do a Steve Francis size up. If you got Garland, you can actually run and that's it. Like there's just nothing.
No.
Oh, behind the backs. Like that's pretty much where it ends.
You are absolutely in a box these days in terms of the creativity with which you can dribble compared to even, I mean, 2K21 Hondo, 2K22 MJ was a completely different story. Even in those games, let alone the older 2Ks where there was really an incredible amount of creativity to the dribbling. But the off-ball defense for the second year in a row is better than it should be. 2K22 and before, or 2K23 maybe, but really 2K22 and before, off ball was not, I didn't think ever that big of an issue. I thought it put you at a huge disadvantage. Whereas now it's just created, it shrinks the defensive skill gap so much because of how good the off ball defense is with the best cards. You can't slide the CPU the way you used to be able to.
Yeah, these new cards especially, jeez.
Half the time they'll bump you so much that you can't even like trigger the dribble moves you're trying to.
Yeah.
And I just think all the pro play stuff has created so much like clunkiness to the movement that half the time you don't even trigger the right dribble move anyway. I just think there's more clunkiness to the gameplay in general, dribbling, defense, shot, whatever, than there used to be. Plus, you're going to miss if you green 3 shots in a row.
Yeah, and the lag makes it even worse. So when you are trying to string a couple of dribble moves together, you just can't get the timing down. It's just bad. Gameplay to me is a 1.
It's very clunky this year. It's extremely clunky.
Yeah. A lot of people have given this a high score. Obviously, it's got a C. So yeah, I'd love to know if you're in the chat comments. Let me know why you think it's good. I'd like to hear that. What I would say is offline, the gameplay is really good. So maybe that's the difference.
With no input delay and CPU not very good defenders, yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's maybe why it's got such a high score. I think the majority of people that have voted potentially play this game more offline, online, or certainly competitively. Yeah, cool. Accessibility, so that's what you were talking about earlier, JC. It's got a 4.
I might even give it a, I don't know.
It's when so it comes hard to answer this
like, that's a question where the answer is like, if I'm looking at it from a budget card perspective, it's like a 9. If I'm looking at it from a top card accessibility perspective, it's a 0.
Hey,
so
budget card, it's a 10.
But there's a lot of quality budget cards as well as of now. And even those mid-level, the 150 to 300K MT Dark Matters that are attainable, but maybe not for every single person. But a lot of people who play the game a lot can get those guys, no money spent. There's a lot of good cards there. It's like, it all depends on the angle at which you're looking at it with accessibility, because there is no accessibility to GOAT Kareem or Invincible Jokic or Invincible KD. But there is a lot of accessibility to still quality cards.
Yeah, it is so polarizing.
5, just put it in the middle. 5.
Yeah, they've given it a 4. I kind of agree with it. I think it's about right. I would have it below average. That's just fair. Because of how inaccessible the top card. I think when your kind of headline cards are, I look at a drop every Friday. I don't even look at those cards. I haven't even checked a sig or an animation on an invincible card. I couldn't even tell you what was on it apart. So that from that perspective, I am literally disregarding a huge part of the game and the hype because of how inaccessible they are. But everything else is accessible, like everything else.
I feel like what the events have made it is so the people that are willing to buy GOAT Kareem day 1, they've made it so they kind of make up. They give us some decent cards in the events, no money spent. Like we're gonna get our 5,000. How much is it for GOAT Kareem? I don't know. We're gonna get that from enough people to where we can throw some Ben Wallace's out there. Some who else? Jason Richardson was a good one for the All-Star. Franz and Kawhi for the Christmas. Every event has had some good cards for people that are completely no money spent. And we could thank the guys that are willing to spend $10,000 on day 1 for that.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Don't you think if less people spent the thousands of dollars on day 1, if that wasn't happening, don't we think there would be more attainable cards? Like a guy like GOAT Kareem would be more attainable? Would they just leave him there as a card that if nobody ever was spending money on that type of thing?
I think the opposite. I think if people didn't spend as much money as they are obviously spending right now, we saw the profits, that everything else would be less accessible.
They would make the Kawhis, you'd have to spend a little bit of money for Kawhi. Because
their goal is to incentivize us to spend, right? So if we're not spending, they will put things in the game to incentivize us to spend. And the things that are really easily accessible now would become less so and become the thing they would incentivize us with.
This feels like a bubble that's going to burst eventually, because every single whale I talk to, and I've talked to a decent amount of them, of the people that I've interacted with one way or another, who are the people who are spending $1,000 in a weekend.
Yeah.
And every one of them I talk to are like, yeah, I have the money to do this, but I don't know why I do this. And people are like, I don't know what I'm doing. This is ridiculous. And they're like, people are like, I'm not going to money spent next year. I'm going to spend way less next year, or I'm not going to play next year. I have heard that from a lot of people who are spending a lot of money. And it's like, even the people who have it are like, what am I doing?
I think it's a frustration. You're kind of building your own frustration, I think, spending money. Because if you do spend a lot and you lose, that's a really shit feeling to have.
Well, plus you could spend $2,000 on KD and then 2 weeks later, oh, here's Jokic. And you spent two grand on him. 2 weeks later, oh, there's Goat Kareem. It was 3 grand, not 2 grand.
Yeah, and that's what it boils down to. If you got Shaq for Christmas, I mean, Shaq's a bad example. That card was good, not great. But you know, if you got those top tier cards when the next event came out, you weren't excited about Jason Richardson or even Magic, right?
Yeah.
The only card you were excited about was, I don't even know who was a top tier card in the All-Star one.
Vince.
And then after Vince, the only card you were excited for was Carmelo and Bracket Busters, then KD, then Jokic. None of those other cards you had any interest. The only way to pique your interest was to spend thousands of dollars every event.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I think accessibility 4 is about right. It's tricky. It's a tricky one, that, because it really depends how you play the game. I guess from my perspective, it's probably a 7 or an 8, because every card I've tried to get, I've gotten, but there's a huge bunch of cards I'm not even trying to get because I haven't even acknowledged them. Last thing is enjoyability is a 4. Do you enjoy the game?
That's so subjective. Like, I love the game.
From your lens?
For me, it's like a solid 8 for me.
Okay, that's fair.
But I could see why
I'm not
people
far
give
off
it a
that.
4.
I enjoy the game.
I enjoy the game, but just because I play it so little, I play it like an hour or 2 a week, and if I played more than that, I want it. So it's really just about playing it so little that when you are on the game, there's something kind of interesting to do or something interesting to try.
Do you feel good when you get off the game? Has anyone ever had that feeling?
I enjoy it in the sense that I don't have another option to play basketball. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Fair.
I mean, to answer your question, I do kind of feel good when I get off the game because I'm working on the video 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, fair.
So I'm like, you know, that's going to be a banger video.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do. When I got off the game, I'm like, yeah, that's going to be a dope video.
Fair. JC, Matt, do you enjoy the game?
I probably play it. I would say I might not, but I think I probably play it the most of anybody in here, maybe.
Definitely.
And I think that might contribute to my lack of enjoyment at times.
Yeah.
But on the other end, most of the time, if I'm playing the game that isn't for a video, I'm playing like if I'm streaming and like I'm playing Showdown. So that might also contribute to a little bit less of an enjoyment at times. But also, I think I enjoy the game when I play it because I'm good at it. Like I enjoy winning, and I win most of the time. So like I like to win, and I feel like I win most of the time still. So I enjoy winning, and I think I get fun out of the competitive aspect of playing online and trying to beat my opponent. And so does the game itself bring me tons of enjoyment? Not really. The gameplay frustrates me. The content frustrates me. The things I complain about in my videos frustrate me. But I still kind of enjoy playing it because I like to win.
Fair. Matt?
Yeah, same. I love to win too, you know, and I like to go out there with good cards and try to compete. But as a whole, man, I cannot stand this mode. This mode is utterly terrible to a lot of people. I'm tired of the bailouts. I'm tired of the escrow. I'm tired of so much we've already, forementioned, man. It's just, it could be so, and the thing is, it could be so much better, but it isn't. So just to round off.
That's a really fair comment. Yeah. I mean, even if you're enjoying it, to say it couldn't be better. Lutz, did you say you enjoyed it?
I can't really say, because if there was another basketball game for me to play, I can't really like say that I would pick this one.
Fair.
Like, the offline, fun enough. Going online is horrific. Straight up, I'm getting like bitched by a 12-year-old who spent like $8,000.
What did he get the money?
I don't know, man. Uncaring parents, I guess. Who knows?
That's
Who's
fun.
to say? But yeah, dude. So I don't know. Like maybe I can't really even rank it, honestly. Like I play it just because there is no other option for me to play basketball. Like
I would say
will tell
that's
you,
not an enjoyable reason to play the game.
Yeah, and I will tell you that I
feel like you have no choice.
I found my old PlayStation 2 and started playing NBA Street Volume 2, and that was like insanely fun. But I don't know how much of that is nostalgia, but that was just the only other basketball experience I've had in like, the last 6-7 years.
I've been tempted to load up 22 as well, just to see if I do actually remember it the way.
Yeah. Also, I want to mention that real quick. I feel like it does suck the enjoyment out because they just, delete the game after like 2 years every single year.
It's ultimately futile.
Yeah, which is annoying because I would love to go back and play offline modes in 2K17. That'd be great. That'd be super sweet.
Yeah.
And I hate that argument. People are like, well, they don't want to pay for the server space. Hey, they have more money than God, so they can shut the up. Just disable the online portion and just let me go play fucking Blackout or whatever. You don't need server space for that. Like, it's fine. I just want to go use James Jones, bro. Just let me cook for a little bit.
I do enjoy the game, and if I didn't enjoy the game, I wouldn't play it. And for a year I didn't, because it was so unenjoyable. Like it is that black and white for me. I've got off. That wasn't the first time I've got off the game. I got off the game 21 as well because it just became too grindy for the time I had. So it just wasn't worth me doing anything. So yeah, I do enjoy it. But there's one reason I actually enjoy it, and it's actually, to me, I'll end on this note, I guess, the best thing about 25, and probably the main reason I came back to it and stayed on it, is my biggest pet peeve with my team for the last few years has been whoever this guy is inventing the game mode every week. We just had something different. It's like trophy case. Now we've got zero gravity. Now it's a whole season of just RNG cards that you can chase in co-op, and now we put old cards back into rewards for new modes, and it's just never had any consistency or routine. They've pivoted week to week to try and make money. Last year we ended up with a player market that was, basically completely inaccessible halfway through the year. We had the player market. Now they bought the auction house back, and now we're all expecting Clutch Time to come back next year. It's just been pivot after pivot. We had Stellar Packs, and then that just stopped. Like, every week of this game since I've been playing it has felt like an entirely new mode that someone has created the week before to try and maximize profits for a week without any long-term vision of how to make a game successful. And that all sounds very critical, but it's leading to a positive. I think it's the thing that they've solved now is we have a routine. Every 2 weeks, or every other week we get an event for 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks later we get another event. There's a purpose there. I kind of know what I need to do now, Showdown every week. I only have to play 3 games. If I want to play more, it's up to me. Salary cap, it has a routine. You play it, you get to 2,500 points, 5,000 if you want. It's just consistent, because a lot of people are like, oh, we need something new, we need something to spice up the mode. I'm actually the opposite. I just want consistent, good content. I don't care if they repeat things, as long as it's good. Now, my concern is the events are gradually getting worse, and I do believe that. I have had arguments to that. To me, they are getting worse. Just looking at the MT situation on this event and the amount you have to do just to get the MT out of it, it's intentional, right? And there's a lot of stinginess towards no money spent. Paul George is the best example of that. I don't care what anyone says about how good the card is. The card is good. It was one of the craziest things to do to make the only free invincible, have reduced 6 versus every other card. And I'll be honest, I like Evan. Evan's ago gave me the game for free. But his reaction to that really me off. People complain that the Pro Pass version isn't the same as the other one, so now they're going to complain either way, is basically what he said. No one asked for the Pro Pass version to be as bad as the other one. We wanted it the other way around. No one asked for that. What's the argument you're making? You're arguing a point no one has made. That was a real slap in the face, and I still think now. I went on Larry Bird. Do you remember the trophy case, Larry Bird? We pushed it every week for a whole year, and eventually we got that invincible because we wouldn't shut up about it. I'm doing the same with Paul George. Update him. I'll say every podcast for the next 6 weeks. Update the card, please. It's a slap in the face. Don't do it. It's it's a visible, open slap in the face. You haven't tried to hide it, and your explanation made things worse. Don't do that. But other than that, I'm happy with the mode, and I do enjoy it.
I think you enjoy it mostly because of how you play it, and I think there's a certain amount of truth that is to be found in the way that you play it, Jacob plays it, Ludes plays it. Now Jacob might play more online, and you may play more online, and Ludes is playing offline. But I think there's a certain amount of enjoyment that the three of y'all have found in this game because of the casual nature in which you play it now, where it is truly just okay, when I have time or when I feel like it, I'm going to get on for a little bit. And yeah, I have things to do because I'm not doing everything and I'm not trying to complete everything. And I am getting a certain sense of accomplishment because I get a better card here or a better card there or something that helps my team. I think the way y'all play it provides a lot more enjoyment than a way that a lot of the Myteam diehards play it, where they're extremely bored and extremely annoyed and feel like they can't get better and get their teams better, and the gameplay frustrates them because they play it so much. And I think there's a lesson to be learned there, I think.
Yeah, I played the game the way I did, and I came back obviously having not played the mode. Part of it was me just going, I don't believe it. Let's see how this goes. I'm not going to spend any money on this until they kind of prove to me that the mode is better. But what I'm actually doing is not only am I not spending VC, I'm not spending MT. My entire squad has been either grinded or pulled from a reward pack. The whole squad. Outside of the Pro Pass, that's it. So every card I get, becomes a potential upgrade. If I get Dark Matter Pack now, there's a good chance it might not upgrade my team. So everything's kind of worthwhile, and I do agree. I think the way that you approach it is important. Now, I'm not part-time in the mode. I just spent 20 hours doing the spotlights.
Right.
So I'm putting time in, but I think I'm putting time into the things that are actually rewarding rather than meaningless. Mm-hmm. I think that's the difference. Cool. I'm going to leave it on that note. Thank you very much, guys. I don't know how long we've gone here, but it's long. I appreciate you guys hanging out. It was never going to be short, considering we had a year to cover. I think it's the longest gap we've ever had between a podcast. We've got DBG on next week. Thoughts?
I think people are gonna be surprised. DBG's actually pretty optimistic about the game. So people that haven't kept up with his channel too much will probably be a little surprised on some of his take.
Yeah,
He's having about as much fun as Jazz as it seems like.
Yeah, and we disagree on everything, by the way, so it's going to be we're both enjoying the game, but for completely different reasons. On that note, we've also got Evan Tanaka in a couple of weeks. JC, love to hear your opinion on this guy's relentless optimistic takes on the game and querying this guy. I can't post anything on. I can't post a negative opinion on Twitter without Evan popping up going, "But why?" It's fine. I'm really looking forward to that conversation.
Hey, Evan's my guy. I'm sure y'all will have a lot of fun with that.
He's gonna get cooked. I'm letting you know now, Evan.
That's fine with me.
Open invitation to Carlo.
If y'all have Carlo on, can I come back?
Yeah, we'll get everyone on for Carlo. We'll get you, Ty, Primetime KG, Crabbed. We'll get everyone. We'll just do a 100v1.
2K drama alert.
Yeah. Cool, guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope everyone watching enjoyed the podcast. Thanks to JC, to Ludes, to Matt, Jacob, and Gaming Dad. And yeah, we'll be back next week with DBG. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and peace.